Cek. Oke. YouTube kapan update sih? Live dashboardnya ampas bener. Tiap kali gue mau mulai stream tuh bingung ya mencet itu. Nah. Halo, mantap Toka, kamu yang pertama. Halo Bang, halo wih, mantap rame langsung. Ada Randi, Zenaldi, Kiko, Alex, Aulus, ada Noer, Hosino, Pandi, ada Penjeden, namamu aneh kali. Ada Minerva satu, Minerva merek motor cuy. Ada Afif, ada Denny, ada Pace, mantap. Kita nunggu dulu guys, belum mulai nih juga guys. Masih VCT biasa, trio yaper dulu sebelum tiap kali belum match itu ada trio yaper ngomong, gak ada yang suka sama 3 orang ini. Let's go, halo yang baru datang. Ini bukan sponsor guys, ini emang gua lagi nggak ada baju jadi gua pakai baju yang ini, nggak tahu. Ini bukan sponsor, tapi nggak tahu merek apaan. Ini apaan sih? Style Sere apalah nggak tahu. Ini saingannya Mesos Seres kali ya, jualan coklat kayaknya. Gajinya gede ya, nggak kayak gua nggak dibayar sama sekali. Sukarela ini guys. Ini juga ini sponsor gelap ya. Sama Riote tuh official Watchparty nggak boleh ada sponsor. Ini jadi sponsor gelap ini guys. Ini nggak tahu tiba-tiba ada di sini aja gitu, kebetulan barangnya ada di sini kan ya. Ini agak, nah jangan gelap, sini aja deh. Enakan Koko Kran gak ada yang meses. Yang bentuknya meses yang ditabur gak ada. Bang doain guru gue diare biar jam kos. Itu di minumannya dia, lu masukin Vegeta, udah nggak akan bisa ngajar dia. Lo nggak, lu seduhin Vegeta, lu bilang ini Pak atau Bu, saya minuman nih Marimas gitu, Marimas rasa anggur. Terus dia minum, oh iya rasa anggur beneran. Main ceret gitu. Notif live-nya nggak ada ya, shadow ban biasalah. Channel kena shadow ban. Ini masih trio yaper lama banget ngomongnya, udah jam 1 cuy. Udah jam 1 masih sin trio yaper gini, mau mulainya gimana? Gue udah set Elgato nih guys, sekarang udah streamer profesional nih. Ya elah rusak Elgatonya, bagus. Baru ngeset Elgato kan biar bagus gitu, biar bisa ganti scene. Elgatonya rusak. Profesional streamer gini bro. Podcast dulu ya, ini podcast trio yaper. Kalian mending nonton trio yaper atau solo yaper? Keyboard under 600 apa aja lah, yang penting mechanical. Beli yang switchnya biru biar dimarahin sama emak lu. Jam 3 subuh main game, woi berisik. Cetuk. Bajunya bagus ya, makasih. Mahal ini bajunya guys. Lab Zeta enggak. PRX 1 match saja udah. Kalau 1 match menang PRX udah easy 2-0, terus sudah kita end stream. Gak usah lama-lama gitu di sini. Mouse under 500 nih, beli ini nih G50. Oh ini over 500 bro, ada 502 ini. Kalau under 500 berarti G berapa nggak tahu, G102 udah nggak zaman sih. G499 Bang udah mulai apa, mulai gila ya, aku mulai gila. Lonceng nyala, notif gak muncul. Ya biasa, channel gua kena shadow ban. Sudah biasa channel kena shadow ban ya gini. Kang mending makan nasi atau mie? Mie. Udah mapik belum, masih trio yaper nih. Kalian mau lihat nih, lihat Elgato ya jalan nih. Set. Wish. Streamer profesional gini bro, pakai Elgato ganti scene nih. Nih mau ganti scene lagi bisa nih guys. Set. Wih ganti scene woi. Ya elah. Baru dipencet sekali langsung gak bisa lagi. Ah udah bisa. Mantap. Harus di spam, mencetnya agak di spam. Stop talking itu yang munculnya di stream gue juga tetap bilang stop talking gitu. Nggak ada yang suka sama casternya ya. Kasian banget ya jadi caster VCT tuh disuruhnya stop talking. Judulnya nggak ada kata-kata udah izin, nggak. Ya baru mau bilang keren, nggak apa-apa, keren aja guys, kasih aja nggak apa-apa, keren guys. Yang penting itu pede dulu, kerennya nanti aja. Ini 5 jam baru mulai. Ya ini casternya dibayarnya mahal deh. Banyak gaji nih, lihat nih. Gantisin lagi. Wih bisa lagi. Udah fix. Profesional streamer, kalau udah pakai Elgato Stream Deck, profesional streamer ya. Ya trio yaper ini ngomong apa sih? Wih animasinya baru. Oh enggak, yang kemarin. Roti game. Alah ini lagi mau berapa puluh kali tunjukin, ini tiap match tunjukin ya. Sampai bosan nontonnya intro ini. Ini intro tuh yang bocil-bocil suruh naik ke atas truk kan. Intro bocil suruh naik ke atas truk ya. Gak 100.000 sub, gak mau. But we grew stronger as well. Ya udah. Nggak seru guys, intronya nggak seru guys, nggak usah ditonton guys. Ini kita jadi solo yaper dulu. Udah profesional masa nggak 100.000? Enggak guys. Jangan subscribe ke gue aja gitu guys. Gue target 100.000 subscriber, gue udahan. Beneran ini mah. Sudahan, nggak akan upload, nggak akan stream. 100.000 subscriber target gue, udah nyampe 100.000 udah end dia. Orang lain itu 100.000 subscriber, oh iya kedepannya akan semakin semangat upload konten. Kagak, gue mau jujur aja, gue udahan. Auto ansap ya ansap aja, nggak apa-apa. Banyak sponsor titipan Riot, enggak. Sponsornya sponsor haram, nggak boleh sama Riot ya. Coba gue masukin aja. Bayar berapa ke Riot? Nggak bayar, malah gue yang dibayar kayaknya. Lah kenapa? Ya nggak apa-apa, tiap orang punya pilihan kan. Hidup itu bukan cuma ngonten nge-YouTube gitu. Oke, masih pakai mouse biru. Ya ini mouse biru nih. Nah ini mouse yang biru guys. Aku suka mouse biru, bagus. Tapi double klik. Lu betah di YouTube atau pindah platform lain? Platform apa yang lain? Twitch udah mau bangkrut. kick website judi, ya nggak mau, ngapain gue pindah. TikTok nggak dapet duit tuh, konten kreator TikTok gue nanya lu dapet duit dari mana sih? Gak bisa dimonetize gitu. Lu monetize juga paling dapet apa? Dapet tali sepatu, dibayarnya pakai tali sepatu dan bungkus gorengan. Lebih bagus mouse pulsar atau laba-laba? Pulsar, soalnya pulsar sponsor VCT. Dari Sarweria, dari endorse. Lu ngarepin endorse gimana caranya konsisten gitu? Endorse tuh nggak setiap kali ada. Udah mulai belum, masih intro reuse overuse. Lihat nih intro bocil naik ke atas truk ya, sudah mulai bocil naik ke atas truk, lihat deh. Suaranya hilang. Naik ke atas truk deh. Enggak, udah kelewat ya, lo bodo amat. Kelewat guys, naik ke atas truknya guys. Ya udahlah. Mending lagu Nintendo nggak? Ini lagu Nintendo guys, bagus guys. Nah, sejak kasus hak cipta jadi kurang. Video TikTok 0 duitnya. Lu mau views jutaan, gue ada TikTok views 3 juta, penghasilan gue 0, 0. Jing kemana bang? Di rumahnya. Kapan main lama? Oh udah naik panggung, sabar. Elgato ya, Elgato rusak lagi dasar. Streamer magang nih, Elgato ya suka rusak. Cocok ya guys lagunya guys, soalnya kalau lagu yang ini copyright guys. Ya tuh lagunya copyright, deh kita pakai lagu ini aja. Biar cocok lagunya guys. Pas gitu timingnya, ganti tim ganti lagu. Pengusaha kaya hoki nggak bang? Iya. Sukses itu 70% hoki, 30% usaha sendiri. Tim Gen, tim apaan sih? Model rambutnya sama semua lagi, setim kompak bener. Nah ini pelatih nih, cuma ngisep duit doang. Main kagak, duit dapet ya. Guys, kenapa pelatih dikasih duit guys? Padahal dia main juga kagak. Cuma nontonin doang di belakang. Gue juga nontonin tapi gak dapat duit gue. Bang, kenapa suka SpongeBob? Enggak, SpongeBob yang baru jelek. SpongeBob season 1 paling bagus lah, no saing-saing. SpongeBob zaman sekarang gak usah ditonton, udah beda, udah bukan SpongeBob itu. Punya anak buah yang main. Anak buahnya kan punya organisasinya, bukan punya pelatih. Ya pelatihnya kan karyawan juga deh. Oh Mapik nih. Muter lagu gak? Oh gak ada lagunya, mantap.
Well, now going into our map bans for PRX versus Gen.G. This is going to be so interesting because we have two teams that can be very flexible, right? PRX pretty much everybody's expecting something to be flexing already, and Munchkin that are able to flex as well for the side of Gen.G. So as we were saying, we're not sure what agent composition we're going to get, but these maps are going to be pretty determined.
Split, terus ini satu lagi Lotus.
Maybe a better idea as far as what they're going to be piloting, especially if Gen.G has any kind of maps that do come up. When they played against RQ, we saw Icebox, Split, as well as Sunset. But okay, Gen.G going to be bringing out Bree, so we will get a new look on this squad. Big question is, Do they play Yoru?
Yeah, but if they do, that is some tape that Gen.G actually has.
Ini mainnya Lotus sih.
And if it's not that,
Biasa Lotus di banet.
struggle with Breeze a lot. So I actually like this pick from Gen.G, especially.
Ini vetonya Asen nih, mereka nggak berani main Asen nih. Serem Asennya nggak mau.
Gen.G are going to be playing that Yoru as well. You know, do we get to see that coming through? Not something I believe the Textures really played maybe a handful of times in his career, but none of them really spring to mind. But Lotus coming in for Paper X, this just feels like maximum comfort. And overall, it is a map that there's an immense amount of tape on for them. So Gen.G could have, you know, and will have done a lot of studying of that map.
Mainnya Asen.
Oh, enggak. Rumors of the age of Yoru making a comeback, and they're like, oh, we remember Paper X on Bind. Let's not do that, right?
Yeah,
that one would be.
Dia Decider tuh nggak akan pernah dimainin guys. Dari kemarin nggak pernah main map Decider tuh. Nggak ada yang nyampe 21 ya. Semuanya 2-0. Ini siapa cu? Boko, Viper, Wangi. Ada siapa cu?
Yeah, I mean, we saw them, you know, versus Sentinels, and they did make that a pretty close one in the grand final. And like you mentioned before, you know,
perbandingan berapa persen kemenangan PRX? 50-50.
Newest map in the pool.
Kalian juga tiap kali main kompe kan persentase 50-50 di awal-awal, terus nanti kalah satu ronde langsung jadi 100 sama 0.
And meanwhile, we have Astra for Charon as well for
Viper Harbor emang meta ya.
I mean, I'm actually okay with this. I think if you're going to play double controller, there's some options for that Astra as well, especially because you have the Cypher to really anchor down one site. But the single duelist Yoru for Paper X, I mean, we've seen
and
again.
Triple control.
Yes, and triple control as well.
Yeah.
Right? And Magnet and that Omen, so Magnet should be a lot more aggressive now. So he's going to be acting as kind of that secondary duelist alongside the Yoru.
Mending Kayo nggak sih? Kayo bisa gagalin Yoru, gagalin Viper. Kalau Sekai nginfo doang.
Is it going to be the Jet or is it going to be the Yoru here?
Tiga controller. Ini mereka ngandelin smoke aja berharap gak maju-maju gitu dari smoke-nya. Takut tuh di smoke, takut di smoke. Nah, udah mulai guys. Mentokin dah. Mentokin suaranya malah kecil.
Hey, it's me indeed, and with Quack. Man, time to bring your face masks. This is going to get a lot smoky here on Breeze. Triple controller, my man, on Paper X.
That is super interesting. I mean, we've never really seen this being pulled out from this team before. But apart from that,
tapi enaknya main triple controller gini, mau maju, musuhnya nggak bisa ngeliat apa-apa. Mau retake, lu mainin smoke aja terus musuhnya nggak berani defuse. Nggak usah nembakin musuh pun bisa menang mereka.
Spread their wings a little bit all across the map, and this is, I think, the good thing about that triple controller comp is you do have so many options to a good chunk of a big map such as this Breeze.
Especially on the attack, right? Just having three, you know, sets of smokes to cycle through. You can see that they already sent out a high tide.
Udah low aja orangnya.
It creates a bit of pressure.
Baru mulai rondenya udah health 58.
Damage towards this B site. I think Gen.G gets a bit of information.
Yeah, haven't committed to toxic wall yet, so not really too much.
Lihat tim musuh, Astranya bintangnya habis, Viper tembok udah cooldown. PRX masih ada 2 controller lagi udah siap gitu.
Apart from that, also just with the gate crash that something is using, you know, they're going all over the map, but here it comes.
Yeah, Tripwire on that A site. This is the Yoru though, so he can bypass it. Needs to break it. Munchkin has been given up already. Right in front of him, 2 on the contact point. It's good. Something finds another, and they already secured that A site in the blink of an eye. Rest of Gen.G will have to go on that rotate back to the A site.
Dia kena vulnerable, kena badan 2 kali dan mereka 100. Kok nggak mati tadi?
He's gonna go down, but at least he's got that information for the rest of Paper X.
Yeah, it was a good hit nonetheless.
And, itu belum warm up tadi sih, itu belum warm up tembaknya gitu.
And that just confirms a lot of it.
Okay, dash in.
Facecam salah.
Just very aggressive into this.
Oh iya, facecamnya salah sih. Gimana ini panitia ini? Facecamnya salah sama namanya nggak sesuai. Wih, sabar banget dia orang nembaknya.
No way. First round already picks up the 4th. You see how he has that.
Lihat sih, pemain pistol paling sabar dia nembaknya beneran ditahan dulu, nggak kena tahan aja dulu.
He's just waiting to track as the movement slows down, and that is unbelievable skill.
Man, the punish from that one too. You'd think that smoke would actually help out Paper Rex, but
Ya, dia berhenti nembak tuh sengaja. Oh, nggak kena, oke, gue tahan dulu. Pemain sabar itu guys, bagus guys. Panutan ya.
And now they've picked up the Bulldogs. You got an outlaw on texture. He's looking
Daripada
like
kalian orang silver main ghost di spam dong, nggak ada yang kena pelurunya.
They give him the satisfaction. He's getting closer. His teammates breaking and giving as much support as possible. And it's down already.
I mean, that's the other thing, right? Because it's
Cuma
an
di
outlaw,
bridge ya outlawnya keluar terus.
Powerful. Anything on an eco round, it just chews right through.
Kalian tahu
So these
kalau
guys, Paper Rex, they gotta be so
second round
careful.
gini dapat plan pada beli force buy, jadi pada belinya outlaw bukan Marshall kan.
Still, it's not gonna stop Paper Rex from starting to move.
Berarti metanya kalau VCT gini musuh dapat plan ronde 1, ronde 2-nya lu beli outlaw. Kalau lu beli Marshall kena badan 101 nangis. Udah dirasa Marshall makanya.
Reloads, they know he's here. They don't really want to challenge him. It's way too risky. So they're running out of options. You can't go back into Elbow. You're pretty much stuck inside of B main. Texture, well, Tailwind's away, so maybe got a bit of breathing room, but 30 seconds left, Asar.
Something's gonna just try to make something happen. You know, no pun intended.
30 seconds.
Make some contacts here. Does have his quick
Nunggu
crash available.
rezeki doang.
Again, the outlaw texture, but when it's 140,
Wih, di RBC tuh S sih.
Shield or half shield, it's just not gonna work. You're just feeding him the kills, and now he's got that ace.
Di RBC ronde 2 outlaw meta.
Wow, that's just a big boost of confidence for Texture starting things off. I mean, yesterday he said he was hangry.
Itu namanya Echo Cobra sih. Echo Cobra.
This is a whole
Predator.
already available. I mean, the other thing is also just, Paper Rex, they had sheriffs. They're just trying to maybe go for some picks or the spike plant. Couldn't really find anything, and that's a little bit surprising.
There's so many players, I think, in this 2024 Pacific League that is on their revenge arc, right? Like Lenny, not getting the chance to play for Team Secret, and Texture, as the Des was mentioning, not having any opportunity to showcase his duelist, but here comes the dueling potential.
Dapat infonya banyak banget, langsung masuk set.
Tricky business. Spots one, getting into the astral dimension, goes out, flashes. He still challenges something. He's got to make something happen here, and he does get it. Follow up by Monyan, but Karon's holding on.
Astralnya ngeselin juga, dia kagak ngepick
Got the cascade up as well, so there's a lot more room for Forsaken trying to play around this, pushing Gen.G back. They want to burn down the timer and they want to stay alive as long as possible.
Yeah, Munchkin's coming around the corner here on double doors. They're just waiting for him to drop down already. Forsaken's right here for the first contact, but gets punished by Meteor. He's gonna be alone by himself.
Tadi dia jongkok kayaknya itu.
Unknowing of where his opponent might be, not spotting Meteor, getting closer and closer. He might not even know about this. There it is. No more utilities for Meteor, so it's a straight up start of the defuse. Devi
Tidak takut.
and will be winning the gamble on the peak.
Yeah, you got the advantage of the spike. Might as well just hang back and play it loose and easy. And at the same time, I mean, you gotta love the utility that Paper Rex uses. You can see that, 3 controllers, Mind Freak on the solo.
Karena ini bukan
This might not be
kompe.
W gaming, but no, it still very much is. The dimensional drift gives them so much space. Monyet is already there, kind of like what Will said on the desk. That secondary duelist instantly
Ya,
trading
saya
back and
sabar
forth
sih
with
nggak
the
ngepick
entire
jadi
team.
dapat 2
And
deh.
with that, spike down, it's tough for Gen.G to retake in such situations.
Ya, karena jadi miskin harusnya.
They do love their first contact in texture. He's already
Baca
on this
ability-nya nggak penuh
operator.
cuy.
There's not really much utility that can really punish him, but okay, gravity will activate it, stuns as well, and that's gonna be as the dust settles, 2 kills down against Gen.G. Paper Rex have somewhat of an advantage here.
Itu pengen cosplay jadi governor cuma gagal.
Triple kill by Nacho, and My Freak is alone by himself on Halls.
I can't believe
Dari
that
tadi
you
cuy si
reacted to
Karon
that so quickly.
nge-hold
I thought
angle-nya
Cascade
sangar
would at
banget
least
cuy.
mask Paper Rex's intentions for just
Diam di
a
satu
second,
tempat,
but he reacts just as
headshot semua.
quick.
Karon's just so fast at being able to just get these punishes. My
Ya,
Freak's giving
kedengeran.
away his position. Of course, Texture's not going to miss the beat. Rex, they've been wanting to get this A main control for the longest time, but the smokes, man, the peek outs and the flashes just, even though they have the triple controller, it doesn't
Sangar
seem
cuy
like
holdnya cuy, tak gentar sama sekali.
it's giving them any leeway.
Yeah, not yet. That's the thing. I mean, the smokes are still just smokes, and without the flashes, dude,
Dia nge-hold angle-nya, keyboardnya beneran dilepas ini, datang ke gua nggak takut gua.
I bet Will is starting to foam at the mouth. Yes, 3-1. Yes, this is what I was thinking, hoping about, predicting. Paper X still wanting to get that quick contact, feeding all the orbs for something.
Skin itu harus hitam, jangan
idea,
itu.
I'd still say, because if he does keep getting
Biar sangar harus
that,
hitam.
dimensional drift of his, it does give them a lot more access.
Jadi langsung info ini ke A ini. Ada orang lompat-lompat ke A ini udah.
Is setting up on A.
Yeah, with the positioning that Gen.G has, that classic 2-1-2 split. Oh, actually, it's a 1-1-3 split. 3 stacked up. And it's just a little bit tougher for
Abing
Paper X
PRX
to break
smoke-nya nggak
through.
bagus.
You got the stars
Ronde
phone,
tadi
those are
malah
really,
nggak
really
ada
annoying.
smoke,
So
nggak
maybe
beli
trying to
mereka,
bait
kurang
around it,
duit.
trying to, bait Karen into a peak.
Kan habis
But then you also gotta
mati
worry about
banyak,
texture in this off.
meskipun menang rodanya
This is the
duitnya
problem
dikit,
with
jadi nggak bisa beli
having
ability.
a flash initiator. You just can't really flush out these set angles that they just break that.
Ditembaknya lama sendiri dong, karena tahu nggak akan dihancurin.
Forsaken pushes out, but Texture, he doesn't respect this wall.
Ya sih, Texture lagi pede banget mainnya cuy. Gara-gara kemarin nonton Governor kayaknya. Nonton Governor main sendiri, ya udah dia juga bisa katanya.
So that has to be the buy, just putting up the toxic screen, hoping that Mindfreak could deal with Texture.
Pede cuy, pakai operator di depan sendiri.
3 versus 1, 20 seconds. He's gonna have to start pushing in, but because of how much out in the open he is, he's gonna be exposed to Meteor, and that's gonna be the 4-1 for Gen.G.
Gen.G are
PRX perlu saran finansial. Ya enggak sih, kalau lu menang tapi mati banyak kan senjatanya hilang, harus beli lagi.
I mean, this Gen.G, Texture on the op, Charon popping off with kills. They are able to play these anti-flash positions on the A site, no matter what Paper X throws at them. The idea of going in for an execute like that off of, something on the Yoru, you've got
Timeout
on the Paranoia. With
Minimal kalau timeout gak masang lagu copyright nih Riot nih kesel. Ini lagu apaan sih? Ayo lagu apaan? Nah ini aja. Jangan serang A. Ya emang mereka pengennya serang A. Mereka 3 controller tujuannya buat serang A itu. Pertama ditembokin harbor dulu buat masuk. Terus nanti Omen buat backup smoke-nya. Kalau misalkan harbornya habis buat bentar ditambal dulu pakai smoke Omen. Nanti smoke Omen habis, yang terakhir main Viper, tinggal mati nyalain doang, harus main line up kalau bisa. Emang buat main A, main B mereka malah susah. Yang entry-nya cuma Jet doang maju. Bukan Jet, Yoru. Yang bukain space cuma Yorunya doang, mereka ngarepin smoke-nya bisa nutupin, mereka langsung mundur.
That's kind of what the desk was talking about. Alex loves to call these timeouts. He knows when to pause the breaks.
Masuk.
And right now,
lebih cocoknya udah masuk, cuma gara-gara si Texture main di side ya. Dia nggak mundur-mundur. PRX ngarepnya defendernya mainnya mundur, main retake, cuma nggak mau main retake, mereka berani banget mainnya. Tuh gini, mereka ngarepnya gini, pada mundur semua defender, jadi pada masuk side.
Using the cyber cages to give him a bit of positioning here to roam around. Something quickly deals with him, but Caron finds Forsaken through the off-cam kill. Oh, big flash from Lakia. Oh, they didn't even expect it.
He gate crashed backwards. I feel like Lakia might have heard it. So now everyone's kind of split up. Device still up towards mid. It's a good bit of vision, but it's a 2-on-3 nonetheless. He can't use the Viper's pit.
Yeah, Mindfreak is just by himself right now. I mean, there's even the smoke coming into double doors. They have really segmented the 2 players of Paper X, but the buy, he's hoping to be the savior here.
Ya, kelihatan palanya.
The open texture, he's got everything, but the buy takes everything away from him, and that's going to give Paper X a round.
Making use of Mindfreak's position, keeping Divide
hidden.
They were able
Baru
to
7 round. Mental tempe nih, mental tempe mulai muncul. Kalian kebiasaan di kompe ya, kalah 2 round surrender ya. Valorant tuh sampai 13 skornya, bukan sampai skornya 3.
how he pushed up all the way towards orange, towards bridge side. And from that point, he was able to find that back flank on towards Meteor. So that broke apart that A-line.
Terus selama defendernya main retake, PRX gampang menangnya. Kalau defendernya masih main side, ditahan susah. Yang bukain space-nya cuma Yoru doang soalnya.
That said, though, we still need a few more rounds. Both sides have ultimates. And Meteor has been such a menace. Now he's swapped up over back to B site. PaperX is trying to approach here.
He's already preparing himself.
Ya, baru mau teleport ditangkap.
I think just shot through the smoke. That's going to be the punish on Monyet. Waiting for the rest of PaperX.
Ketahuannya dari Harbornya, si Harbornya udah nembok. Oh ini kayaknya bakal mau masuk nih.
Get a little bit tricky, but something just slowly walks up. That's all you need, you know. Just keep it simple, keep it safe.
And that's the thing about New Breeze as well. This backside, back walls, you are able to sneak up on front like that. So now that
nah, terus selama defender main retake gampang mereka.
Gen.G are sensing that they don't quite have the timing on this retake. Davai.
Yeah, he's gonna be the first contact on this 3 waterfall down mid. He's already been spotted. Oh, Forsaken's not hitting any shots. Finally, he does able to
belum
do
warm
so.
up.
And the pinch
Belum warm up.
Texture by himself. But man, he's got some options here. Time might not be one of them though, so he might have to save up. And Mind Freak through the smoke or through the toxic screen blasts away something. Want to pick it up? Want to use it for attack? He will not. I was talking about the operator.
Yeah, maybe no ops for now, but you can definitely feel the impact of Alex's
Dan dia
timeouts
pakai
already,
ISO.
right? Just
ISO
all
jelek
from the
cuy.
previous round. Now they've
Gak
won
bisa
2 in a
nginfo,
row. And you can
vulnerable-nya
see the
lurus
clear
bisa kena
game plan,
temen.
How they make use of these smokes, how they use something to really creep
Bukain
in,
space
cut
juga
off
harus
space, and
jalan
then
loh.
really block
Jalan
off and cause
kaki,
a
nggak
lot
ada
of
ability
chaos
movement
for
ISO tuh.
Gen.G's defenses. So wow.
Ya,
Counter
timeout lagi.
timeout being called now by
Timeout aja terus. Yoru yang bagus solo duelis. Enggak. Yoru tuh butuh timnya. Kalau nggak ada timnya lu main sendiri kagak bisa. Jadi lu teleport ke belakang musuh langsung liatin lu mati. Ini banyak orang-orang Korea ya sih. Oh iya kan memang di Korea. Kalau di Indo yang nonton tukang parkir, tukang di food court yang di atas itu lagi turun nonton gitu. Abang-abang Gojek juga lagi nggak dapat orderan nonton gitu. Ini coachnya 1v2 cuy, lihat Gen.G coachnya 2, PRX coachnya sendiri 1v2 coachnya cuy. Oh, udah.
Further information, try to cut off rotations as Gen.G tries to retake. And that is something that we've seen him do a couple rounds now. He is that top
Timeout biasanya ngapain?
Additionally, I mean, if anybody
Ya nyantai
pushes
dulu
through
gak sih
that,
gitu.
you know, vulnerability as well as the decay makes challenges or fights for him quite easy. Anyways, PaperX now looking to go for that B site. They do have the shock darts, so they are breaking as much utility as they can. And of course, yep, I love this. When you use the decoy,
Nggak
it
ditembak.
activates the trip, so at least you'll know where not to push. Meteor is doing his damnedest to just, again, dodge everything.
Bro,
It's
ente
not
pakai
working.
bulldog diklik
It's a
lah.
lot of kills already in
Ditembak.
position here for the favor of PaperX.
Beli mouse
Also,
gaming
the backside
mahal-mahal,
texture
klik kirinya
does
nggak
make
dipencet.
A bit of wave at the back of things, but it's not going to work out, and Devi finishes it off, and we are tied for
Nembak pun tidak, itu tidak ada perlawanan sama sekali. Itu Cybernya udah menyerah.
PaperX, you got the fake out, you got the smokes, and they knew exactly how to work against Meteor's setup. And that's the main thing. They want to counter that Cypher pick. They want to figure out a way to go through, and they've done it. Monyet can always try to step over it. He is that secondary duelist. Something as the Yoru just cuts in space, he can, you know, break open those trips and create a bit of flashes
Pusing lihat
for a team.
smoke.
And it just
Padahal
does so
smoke-nya
much.
smoke sendiri loh. Itu
Sometimes
smoke one way dia
Gen.G doesn't quite
sendiri
know
loh.
how to react. So there definitely is some changes in terms of that defensive setup.
Texture is still committing on this operator.
Masih pede nih orang pakai OP-nya.
Something one away from the dimensional. Imagine just like as Texture.
Gak dapat infonya itu.
That out of the open, right? Anyways, he's already committed to Tailwind, so might as well over push just in case he can get that, again, that one-off kill if ever. seems like because they spotted get texture on B, or on A, excuse me, they're just gonna bring the whole enchilada on that B side.
Yeah, why not? We know we can avoid that off. We can just go straight for Meteor. We can go straight for Munchkin. Take out those two, and then we have the site.
Ya dua ini kekepung, mereka jadi nggak bisa kemana-mana.
Something's trying to get that through.
Yeah, two on the interior of the site, excuse me. Monyet trying to find somebody inside the smokes, and it is so confusing to be
defender yang main di set mereka kesusahan. Kalau defender yang main retake gampang.
Monyet no ultimate for him, so he's stuck here until Divide
Jadi ngarepin smoke 3 tuh biar musuhnya mundur gitu, jangan di side mainnya.
Smart move from PaperX now that they still have that toxic screen to block away that control at the back of the site. Where you already see Caron getting closer.
Udah datang lagi.
As well as Texture coming in from B main.
Di ulti. Pinter ya, tahu ini satu orang operator tuh ulti aja.
Texture could be the linchpin for Gen.G.
As a shot denied, Shorty's good. And look at this!
Yeah.
Caron picks up the 4K, able to isolate, able to feed off of the play. The Texture is giving the opportunity to retake the
terlalu
site
rendahan,
and
nggak pantas
secure the
nonton
round once again
VCT.
for Gen.G.
Ya
Again,
nggak
right?
gitu.
I mean, this guy, Caron, picked off the, I don't want to say streets, but the rookie coming out
Kalau
from
Kang Gojek
almost
nonton
nowhere,
VCT-nya
but
di
proving
Korea
himself
kan berarti
again
dia
and
beli
again.
tiket
You
pesawat
talk
dulu ke
about
Korea, nggak
firepower,
rendahan
Paperworks
dong.
has a lot of it, but Gen.G in this new form has picked up some new guns, some new shooters, and they are definitely bringing the challenge.
PRX masih senang ngomel.
And again, just
Dibayar dia buat ngomelnya dibayar.
any form of extra information there for PaperX. They were just going blind into calls that they wanted to do. They even saved the operator here for Texture, so he's got a chance
Kan
to
dia
get
ngarepnya
something.
Astranya dalam
Player,
ultnya
but,
gitu.
you know, the opportunity to get
Mana dia tahu dia kan nggak nge-wall hack.
other than something to,
Dia kan nggak bisa lihat merah-merah kayak gini di
Anyways,
layarnya.
Paranoia is activated. Texture's blinded here. He's looking for a TP, but Lakia is making some waves at the front of the site on Brick.
Ya.
And fortunately,
Terlalu
Texture's
maksa
not
di
gonna
depan.
find the PaperX
Udah
Yoru.
mulai sadar si
That's gonna be a
Texture,
secure
oke gue nggak
plant
boleh
on the
main
spike.
retake, gue harus main depan.
Everyone else
Main
here for
depannya
Gen.G.
dikepung.
Looking for the lurk all the way through A main that is being handled by Mind Freak.
Still somehow Caron getting a tap onto
Tajam
something.
cuy, si Caron nih lagi tajam banget.
Of course, Mind Freak wanting to play off the Hunter's Fury, but he knows that there's a potential play coming through.
Another one. Meteor gives himself a bit of space. Push left or right. What it's going to be? It's going to be the right. He wins, but he's down to 5. Oh, this is going to be so bad. Difficult even for him. That's going to be Divine bringing it back. Very, very
Baton lagi
confusing
bang,
fight there
nggak
for
mau.
Gen.G. You just saw everybody look everywhere to look for any players.
That's the main
PaperX.
thing, right? Because that's how PaperX executes. I mean, Grandpappy Achilles will be smiling about that one. He's like, yeah, I remember there's PaperX back in the day. This is what they used to do. They orchestrate chaos. And that's exactly what they do. You got something, gate crashing in. He's got the fake outs. And it's so confusing for Gen.G as they try to defend. You're watching for so many pieces of utility. Not to mention Monyet, who kind of comes in with a shorty inside the smokes. And that's what he was known for back on Global Esports last year.
Having Lakia choosing whether he has to go for the
Sepertinya
gunfight
3
or flash
controller
for,
kurang efektif attackernya.
Texture here makes it even additionally difficult. Munchkin, he backs away. Look at how close something has already got on the top mid. TP's out. I like the use of the code just to break the tripwire, but at what cost?
3B minimal gitu.
He's already decayed down to 20, my goodness.
Yeah.
This man is walking on thin ice.
It got a little bit risky because Gen.G are trying to get a good read for the game right now. They've got these 4 players stacked up on B, so able to shoot through. And with the space now, Lakia pushed up Halls, but not quite able to capitalize.
Look at how they just left pieces of the
Pemain sabar.
players all around the map.
Tahu musuhnya Iko pasti nyari senjata, udah gue tungguin aja.
Working for them, especially that Gen.G is on this weaker buy. It feels like Gen.G is just pressured to try to get control elsewhere, but PaperX.
PRX operated nggak? Ya kalau menang terus ya enggak.
Thank you very much. Texture though. This is the perfect chance for him to get some.
Yang penting dapat 1 katanya.
You wanted to say something, didn't you?
I stopped myself mid-sentence already,
10.000
alright? You didn't
dari
have to
ini
point it
Game
out.
Chess Nexon. Pesan,
Real
biasakan
count.
nonton sampai
I can
real
already feel the
count
chat,
ya
you
dek.
know? How is this caster like
Kan
this?
kalau
No
quick count harusnya nggak jauh
vocabulary?
beda
Use
sama
the
real
thesaurus.
count.
Sorry guys.
Sorry, it's not easy.
Kecuali ada kecurangan.
Alright, Caron's alone. I mean, he's gonna probably just wait till this event horizon engulfs him. Oh,
Dapat
wow, he
dong.
even finds Monyet.
Oh my god. That would be great if he could get even more or pick up a rifle at the very least. Look at how he's so careful jump peeking out, but up against Forsaken, of course. It's going to be the tap that finishes him off. I mean, in this round, again,
Yang
it's just
bener
gonna focus
aja,
on
rugi
burst,
dong.
right? You know, Paper X, they can play around the entire
Rugi dong, gak bisa beli
thanks to
Vandal
the
sekarang.
utility of something's Yoru. I mean, gate crashing back and forth. They can rotate so easily. Sometimes Gen.G has to catch up to it.
Good as quick catch from something in the rest of the team. As I mentioned, just playing the opposition lurks, playing with Gen.G, and one more round. It is pretty close though. Gen.G's able to
Pakai
get
Odin
this win.
gitu.
It could even be a 6-6 if they play their cards right, but with the Reckoning and Dimensional Drift activated,
Ah,
it
lihat
could be
B-nya
very
dapet
difficult.
nih, main
But
retake
Texture's
sniper
already
itu.
pushed up all the way through elbow. They're not gonna know about this.
Nggak
but he
jadi
lives.
di flank.
Thankfully enough, he has Locky right beside him to help him out. Paper X are
Udah bagus,
dwindling
madunya
in
cepat, cuma
numbers.
ke flank.
Finally something with the Odin. And he brings it right back, 3 versus 3. Plenty of walls. Can they calm themselves down to plant the spike even? Not gonna happen just yet. Monyet has control of the back of the site here. Ultimate activated right now by Mindfreak. Big flanks coming in from Munchkin, so the time for Monyet to make something happen is very minuscule here.
Yeah.
2 versus 1. Charon
Triple flank,
now
Jay.
backing himself away, gonna double up with his teammate, and this is the perfect time for them to try working their magic against the one. What is this TP? Did he try to pick up a spike? No, he's just trying to reposition for the fight. Very aggressive from Monyet, but it's not gonna work out.
Emang OP sih, awal ronde majuin elbow OP sih. Defender tuh nyampe lebih cepat dibanding attackernya itu.
How many flags did we see in that round? I mean, first of all, we
Ya,
had
halftime.
Mindfreak holding the angle with the Odin.
Oke,
for window.
kita mundurkan
Even
dikit,
bucket
guys.
force. It's gonna be the Paper X they can
Ya
play
di sini
around
nih
the
lihat
field. They
langsung
can
majuin
rotate
elbow nih kan.
Something in the rest. It is pretty close though. Gen.G's
Duaan lagi majuin bareng Sky. Lari aja situ. Kumpul lagi chaos gini gak bisa kedengeran majuin elbow lari gitu.
It could be very difficult, but Texture's already pushed up all the way through elbow. They're not gonna know about
Ya
this, but he
unlucky
lives.
nggak siap
Thankfully
mereka.
enough, he has Locky right beside him to help him out.
Itu juga
Gonna know about this, but he
dilihat
lives. Very difficult, but
yang maju
Texture's
cuma
already
Jet
pushed
doang
up
nih
all
kan.
the way through elbow.
Ini swipernya cuma gitu, oh ini Jet doang, satu doang. Jadi dia fokus, Jet yang ngedes dia lihat kiri. Pas lihat kiri, Sky-nya nge-pick
About this,
di
but he
trade.
lives. Thankfully enough, he has Locky right beside him to help him out. Paper X are dwindling in numbers.
Pinter ini main
Something
elbow-nya ini
with the
flanknya.
Odin. You already
Ya,
see
dari play
how
system.
quickly, and you
Yoi.
mentioned this again,
Ini
Texture.
ada musik copyright. Ya, kita ganti dulu musiknya. Itu Red Bull dari kemarin penuh terus itu di belakang tuh nggak laku ya. Sponsor nggak laku gitu tuh, kulkasnya penuh terus. Nggak berkurang satu pun dari kemarin. Ya tunggu guys, masih muter lagu copyright mereka. PRX, Defender Odin. Iya. Ada operator juga nih, paling Forsaken main operator nih, lihat nih.
So very curious to see how this will play out. I
Sabar.
mean, you don't want
Professional
sides to
streamer nih,
be
audionya
on as a
dikontrolnya
vibrator,
manual.
right? Because then you can't really use your abilities. So Paper X has to be a little bit careful, a little bit mindful about how they want to push out if that is their game plan.
Speaking of pushing out, there's like 3 players of Paper X about to have the welcome party outside A main. Smoke quickly placed
Itu
there
shock
as
dart
well
buat ngancurin
as
tripwire itu.
the Cascade.
Dia berharap ada
Drop
tripwire di
darts from
situ.
Mindfreak to dissuade anybody pushing up onto the Hall's position. The swing outs from Paper X, like I mentioned, because they don't have that Sentinel, they just have to start peeking and pushing, and as well as just getting that contact. Shots through the smoke, able to get Lakia. The push out from Texture, and
Ya,
he
dia tembak
finds
tuh.
something. Just
Wih.
get another one. What a flick from Texture. Down to 25.
Klon pun dihantam sama dia, cuy. Nggak ada rasa
Still
takut sama
very much
sekali.
felt the settling numbers favoring Gen.G, Monyet as well as Devi. Devi's already coming in for the flank here, and Texture, he's very much unaware of it.
He is holding a bit of an off angle though, so Devi can't really just waltz right through that door.
On mid though, that's going to be Monyet by
Ya,
himself.
bete keculik itu.
Does have the paranoia.
2v2,
Maybe actually
iya
spot the other
diculik
one.
balik.
Texture,
Padahal
that
ditungguin
door
loh,
closes.
satu hall
The
lebih
opportunity for
awas.
Devi.
Dia mundur ke hall kelihatan.
Impossible. Dude had the so close
He
yet
opened
so
the door
far
again.
away
He
situation.
opened the door again.
Okay, so his positioning's already given. He's pushing out, jumping through the smoke smartly to try to get a coax out of
Texture.
everybody. And this is the thing, every single opponent
Udah
that's
muter
firing
aja
is
sih,
slow.
Texture
So his
positioningnya
shirt has
bagus
a
sih.
lot
Dia
of
muternya
lethality
pas banget. timingnya.
Just one shot to the body. But look at the positioning.
He's so unaware. And you can see that with how he's moving up here, that he wants to get close against Charon, but he's
kedengeran
so
tuh udah lari
afraid
deh.
of where Texture actually might be, even thinking it could be mid.
I mean, he's got a bit of time, but Texture is the main one to look out for right now.
Did they just barely miss each other? Look at Devi. I think he heard the drop down too. Texture's about to just peek out. And Devi, can he be able to reel it in for the round win?
Dicaplok coy pakai
My man
Sheriff.
is patient as can be.
What is up? Danger. He's got that Sheriff. It's got the word danger written all over it, and he just clutches it out for the team. I mean, apart from
Kasihan sih Texture udah susah-susah main di hall.
I have a rough idea of where Texture is.
Digituin.
As long as I keep my sights right up around door, I should be okay. But the main thing is also knowing that Karen's right around the corner, and he is able to flick back and forth. Now catching up to Texture in terms of kills.
Udah 20 kill aja tuh orang.
W Gaming. It turned
Main
into
sendiri aja.
adaptation, you know?
Yo, what, like what, Wario kind of... What am I?
But I mean, dude is, I used the term yesterday, I think, zen. Very zen with how he approaches these fights. He's not impatient, like you mentioned, he has a lot of time to make use of. Anyways, big contact coming in from this one. Couple
Ronde
of
2,
marshals activated. What a risk
mereka
from Manya
tahu
just to peek that
attackernya
out.
dapat plan pakai
Forsaken,
outlaw
though,
langsung.
dipping his toes as well into the swing game outside of A main. It's Manya, I love this. And he
Iya,
actually
outlawnya
kills Forsaken
terculik.
drops. This could be bad. If he re-challenges this once again, he's the only one holding the site for the moment here.
Ya tuh
And he has to
PRX
back
pun
away,
naik turun
wait for
lihat ya.
reinforcements.
Masih
As
map
Mike hit
1
the
cuy, ini
binder,
juga
slowly
pilihannya
creeping up
Gen.G.
back onto A.
Trades
Map
the
ya
outlaw
Gen.G
for
ini.
Bulldog too, just wants additional firepower. We've got a little bit of support from Mindfreak coming through halls just to check. But he's got to be so careful. I mean, Gen.G are bunched up together. It's a full squad of classics and marshals. He hears the
Kelihatan palanya.
jump, gets the first shot.
Oh, he gets away too. So no trade here for Meteor.
Dapat info
Throws
sih
out the
ini
recon
ke
guard
A
for a
ini.
bit of that safety. And he's home safe? Wait, no. Okay,
mean-
now he's home safe.
Gen.G really just wants to wait for more picks and then maybe try to soften up defenses, try to sneak through. But at this point, only
Kalau
30
nonton di
seconds
komputer
left.
sekolah boleh
They
nggak?
have to
Nggak
hightail
boleh.
it to B. And
Ya,
as long as
kecuali
Meteor
lagi
can
itu.
do the same thing that he's doing right
Dapat
now,
2 loh
Gen.G
Marshall
might
ini.
have a better time in this round.
Oh,
3.
my goodness,
What?
Mindfreak couldn't really do anything. And the rest of Gen.G gonna be walking up to
10
B.
seconds.
1v3 ayo,
He's got a
something
Guardian.
1v3.
The aim god.
1v2.
Okay, good at the first.
1v1.
Oh, the second one instantaneously, but he's
Ya.
dropping in HP and bullets
Sudah
and
terlalu
everything.
panas.
And it's down once again to Monyet.
Woi, low,
Oh,
low, low,
attack
don't
it
pick, don't
was.
pick.
Look at how just low both of these players are. I mean, even if Meteor drops down, you can already see Charon waiting patiently at the back of the site, and even finds Monyet trying to reposition, and
Pakai
Gen.G
Marshall doang loh.
somehow makes the thrifty round work.
I'll tell you somehow, it was Meteor. All it took was a Marshall, and this guy's still
PRX
as lethal
moment.
as he was last year. Maybe not on the Jet anymore, but as soon as he pushes up halls, look at these picks that he's getting. It might not
Kalau
always
hallnya
be
nggak
headshots,
ditinggalin tadi,
but just
ditahan aja
because
hallnya,
he plays
menang
around
mereka.
the space that way, plays around the obstacles. He
Jadi
keeps
tadi
himself
Mindfreak
tucked
udah
away,
dapat
and he's
satu,
always
mundurnya
able to
kejauhan
chip
tadi.
away at PaperX
Langsung
bit by
mundurnya
bit.
sembunyi
And
gitu.
that's, you know, something had some nice Guardian kills that was really flashy, really fun to watch. But it's not clean
Miskin,
enough
langsung
for an
miskin.
anti-hero around the PaperX was meant to
Dimiskinkan
win.
langsung.
Absolutely. I mean, it just also felt like
Lawannya langsung beli
PaperX
Phantom
was
lagi.
agreeing to the aim duel, and Gen.G was coaxing them to do
Alright.
that. There was
You want an aim duel?
exactly lesser risk for Gen.G to do that because it was a
Oh, info mereka ras elbow udah kakak
we
gitu.
weren't even committing to purchase this, and for
Kalah sama Klasik, bro.
actually gets
Texture kalah sama
through
Klasik.
the defense, the line of sight.
Pakai
Doesn't
Phantom
even
loh
have
dia.
to trigger the trap here, and does get a one-to-one trade. I mean, I don't know how impactful that is going to be, but still goes to show how both teams very much willing to take those.
Nggak beli armor atau
off-angle
gimana
risks
itu? Atau
to
langsung double
try
ding
to
gitu?
get
Diklik kanan, klik kiri.
Both of them are in the fight very much so. 7-7 right now, and that's the main thing. You definitely can't underestimate PaperX too much, and I think that's why Gen.G are taking things really slow right now. You know, maybe trying to suss out information, but we don't have that much in terms of gathering, right? You got to think about Lakia's guiding light usage.
Nah, dia trauma. Tadi gue tinggalin hall, jebol. Udah gue diam di hall.
Depends on how well PaperX can hold their ground.
What a far smoke from Munyan too.
Wih, dapat lagi rezeki orang sabar.
He gifted himself a bulldog and no one's there to trade it for Gen.G. So they get themselves some control, but Caron and Munchkin making quick work of that A site. Gen.G find themselves
PRX
the
bikin
advantage.
tegang. Apanya tegang?
1 point in the lead. It was against pistols, but you gotta admire how they, went in silently. Made sure that they were, going to pre-fire some of these corners. They checked some of it. Although Meteor did die, it was a bit of information that they
Bisa kalah sama klasik gimana nggak ditunjukin itu?
Mind freak up around halls. And relatively clean round for Gen.G. And
Nggak
that's what you would
ditunjukin.
have wanted for PaperX in the previous.
Oh sama ya.
So,
Ya kan mereka
on to the next.
Iko
Now,
nyari
Texas
kill
got enough
aja.
for the Bladestorm, doesn't need to buy up. Gen.G's economy starting to flow, Asarai.
Iko tuh nggak nyari menang, nyari kill aja. Yang penting ekonomi musuh hancur. Kalau menang itu rezeki keajaiban ya.
Finding Meteor through the push on A main. This is what they want. They want to stop these multiple angles of attack.
Ketahuan, smoke lewatin situ, udah tembakin aja.
Gen.G just have to rub their eyes and wait for the blindness to dissipate. And as it does, Munchkin's by himself. Forsaken devours, and that's going to be a flawless round for PaperX.
Responnya cepet sih mereka ke M-nya nge-pick. Oh M-nya cuma satu ini, mid-nya awas. Langsung mereka liatin mid semua. Ada smoke, hantam langsung di-spam, mati deh. Sebelum masuk set pun udah mati. Tuh Cyphernya cuma satu M-nya tuh. Liatin mid langsung semua. Responnya cepet tuh, komunikasinya udah jalan banget.
Both teams have actually used their first timeouts as well in that first half, but it feels like they have a better grasp of what is happening right now.
Setupnya juga agak boros ya deh. Wall Harbor udah kepake, Smoke Omen satu kepake.
How risky it is too. A stray pop shot, that smoke going, and there's the pop shot. He's actually getting tagged. He might want to get away right now.
Movement though.
But he did give away his teleport on. He does have too much drift, so he can't get away from this without having to use that gate crash, or because he's in such an off angle and he's that Yoru, he can just do whatever he wants.
Ah, ketahuan.
Yeah, he's gonna gate crash out now. Definitely doing what he wants. I mean, just getting enough information or maybe pulling the attention away from Gen.G.
Harbornya udah nggak bisa ngapa-ngapain sih dia. One use.
Now the high tide invested.
Oh, udah cooldown lagi. Cepet juga cooldownnya Harbor. Gue kira lama, semenit.
Something. Yikes. I mean, shame on me. And then shame on him if he does that again. The wall's dropping down.
Wih, nice trade.
How he used his teammates.
Pinter sih dia. Yorunya mati, dikira cuma satu doang Yoru main sendiri. Ikutan maju Harbornya. Gak expect mereka.
Lose all control of that mid push, but they wait to use that neural tap for that information.
Asarai, we are fishing out here, but it's big information.
Meta itu ya, metanya controller minimal 2 lah. Di Breeze sama Bind controller minimal 2.
You've got 13 seconds left.
Oh, he's just gonna hold by himself.
Wow.
Again, boy's patient, man. He just has to wait
lagi
for the
tajam
big
tuh
hit to his
M-nya lagi
crosshair,
pede deh.
and Devi single-handedly holding this.
Nggak jadi overhit.
Meteor, no. But because of the recon dart, he's given away his position.
Info dapat.
Meteor is just having to hold so many angles. The shot dart! Mind freak, what are you doing? Have you lost your mind? Are you a freak? Well, he could definitely be. Paranoia misses Meteor, but know exactly where he is. Down to 14.
3 peluru, no reload, headshot langsung.
And is this dream gonna turn into reality? As Munyan denies. Comes up, man, swings, and does not miss.
He knows he's low, and all he's got to do is to go in for that burst. So very confident, cool enough. He might be the youngest player, but still has enough experience, and that's one of the things that people don't really know. Might have been a global esports last year, but he has been playing throughout Indonesian Valorant for quite a while, and he's always been this talented. And apart from that, also just Devi. We were talking about fishing a little bit. Remember, Mika and Victoria were telling us about this as well. Devi fishes in real life. He is patient.
Udah tahu low sih dia, jadi
He
nggak
knows he turns
defuse
that
dulu.
situation into a 2-on-1 for his team.
Yeah. He knows that sometimes all he has to
PRX
do
suka
is,
gitu ngutamain
again,
fun.
not do anything.
Ya udah.
That's already a lot because the stress on Gen.G.
Wong mereka udah kaya kok pemainnya. Udah nggak butuh duit.
As they possibly can. Something. He's already nursing himself an operator all above here.
on halls, and I really like this because he gets so much information, so much value. His gate crash is about to expire, but shouldn't matter at the moment as Gen.G coming out of elbow.
Yeah, he can always just regroup with his team and other means. Main thing though is for Divide to stay alive right now.
Oof, well, he can, especially because of those flashes. But the punishes
Ya,
with
apa
the
ini
right
main-
as well as the Hunter's Fury does get the value something.
Main trampolin di situ. Lompat-lompat, muter-muter.
Numbers still
Tiba-tiba ada
favoring
nyuruh.
Gen.G. All of them now on the site. What's the damage here? What's the capabilities? Monyet
Wih,
wreaking some
masih
havoc
menang
outside
lagi.
of Arch, but he's alone. They haven't picked up the spike. He
Spike
can't
drop.
reposition into this, and he's got everything. Shrouded Step, Paranoia, and there's
Lawan
smoke.
duaan dah.
Gen.G
Pinter.
realizes wants to actually double up. They want to use the numbers in their favor. Monyet, did he hit all of them? He did!
Wih.
He repositions! My God, Monyet!
He's
Down
out of
to
ammo,
one
though.
bullet.
Satu
He has to
peluru.
change, either reload or change, which he does. And Monyet
Terculik.
almost gets it, but Munchkin perseveres and wins. Oh boy, that was close for both.
I mean, just a bit of nerves on stage. Unfortunate that
Tadi
he ran
udah
out of ammo in his
teleport udah
magazine,
keren.
right, that's right, but still.
Cuma dapat
Comes down
satu.
to
Kalau
it,
spraynya
Munchkin
lanjutin dapat dua
actually
deh.
lands the flick above Monyet,
Ditahan satu
so
peluru lagi.
It's all of these like really thin margins.
Lihat
that
itu
comes
Asal
out on top.
tengah-tengah main lompat-lompat
Sometimes
gitu,
numbers
muter-muter.
advantage will still prevail, and that's why, you know, it gets so dicey when you're going for these shorty kills. The Reckoning, the Hunter's Fury was awesome.
Timeout
but
dulu,
not the
coachnya mau marah
cleanest, you know,
dulu.
Fight back against it.
Coachnya marah dulu guys. Oh, aku ketinggalan berapa detik? 20 detik. Aku nge-freeze. Halo? Gue harus cepetin dikit, aku ketinggalan cuy. Wih, kencang timeoutnya cepet guys. Tuh main timeoutnya cepet. Udah beres guys, timeoutnya cepet guys. Tutorial timeoutnya cepet gitu guys.
But what is this? Outlaw martial by.
I mean,
Bikin naik darah
there's
pelatih.
like 3 players.
Minimal
in
gebrak
Gen.G
meja
that's
dulu
actually
baru
right now,
menang
so-
mereka.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, and plus, you know, FYI for people, if you only shoot one bullet at the outlaw and reload it, it's faster. than
Outlaw keluar
the
lagi
full
deh.
reload.
Tadi gagal
I don't
soalnya
hate it,
mau
but I'm nervous,
redemption.
that's right. Oh boy.
Iya gagal
Okay,
redemption.
that's gonna be
FPS drop soalnya.
Oh, that's not even impacting.
Diculik
That's a
lagi.
trade by Meteor, punished by Meteor. Straight
Ya, mereka
into
jam
the
berapa?
theft, and Peekaboo, I
Korea
see you.
2 jam
Full
lebih
map
maju.
exposed.
Sama kayak Papua lah. Di Korea itu jamnya sama kayak Papua.
Possible in this round, right? If any round is the round that we want to bait out those ultimates, bait out those pieces of utility, that's gonna be this one.
Monyet got the Marshall in hand, shooting through the smoke blind.
Dia di one tap
Meteor
balik.
comes in for the pitch. He will get diced. Mindfreak looking a little bit too far away. That's gonna leave Ilya
Wih, ace.
by himself. I was about to say Divide, but then he's just by himself right now. Oh, he does not get the shot onto Meteor as well. And he's
Mau dia
exposed.
nih,
Gets
nafsu,
the heal.
nafsu.
This might
Pengen
actually
guys buat highlight gua.
have to be a save from him.
Nanti bos gua nonton gaji gua naik gitu.
Just backs away. Wait. He has a gate crash all the way at the end of halls. Is he willing? No, probably not.
I think it ran out. It's probably opting for the save instead at this point, but still, I mean, definitely trying to get an idea.
Yeah.
So scouting out, you know, what Gen.G's early game plan is, right? At least in the first 30 seconds. Sometimes, you know, they're up around elbow, up around mid. And this time you can definitely feel that A presence, and just not too sure how Paper
Gak
X can
dapet
really
deh,
disrupt that.
gak
You know, we
jadi
were
naik
talking about it
gaji.
before, that's why you have the Yoru, right? You always want to push up front, you always want to scout and then gate crash back.
Yeah.
But it's still, you know, sometimes
Vandal gosong, Vandal gosong
I
bagus
guess the
sih.
problem for that is because you only have
Gua dari Iron sampai
technically
Immortal
one
pakai
duelist that
Vandal
can
gosong.
Can reposition. I mean, you can maybe argue that Monyet can also do it as the Omen here. There's not really
Tuh
a
lihat
lot
dia
of
tidak ada
options
selebrasi
for Paper X
gitu
to
soalnya ya nggak dapet tes gua nggak
get
naik
out of
gaji.
harm's way without getting punished, even with the smokes, right? So we're kind of seeing
Bosnya yang nonton
the-
kecewa nggak dapet ace.
the other way of that, which is getting punished by Gen.G and ultimately giving rounds to Gen.G. Okay,
Whoa.
Seeker's been activated. Forsaken's just charging right in. Divide? Is he even gets body?
Di
No, he
bunuhnya
doesn't
pakai
even have to
Viper
look at his
Pit.
opponents. Cool guys, don't look And snake bite kills. It's not even an explosion, guys. It's a slow burn, a slow, painful poison burn. Cosmic Divide
Kalau dia kena ini sih, lewatin wall kena decay, health-nya jadi setengah. Kena vulnerable, double damage, ditembak sekali mati langsung. Kasihan amat.
To make things a little bit easier as they transition,
Kena rabies sih.
That's it, an uphill battle for Paper
Matinya
X, right?
alergi
They might
air.
be able to surround this Viper's Pit. There is a trip on the other side. Meteor can make use of it. And then you still got to watch out for those players up inside A main. How do you break this?
Monyet, though, he's vertical, dude. He's got the
Nggak bisa
high
lihat
ground advantage,
apa-apa.
and he is using that to actually get the one up.
Ini Viper dipukul mundur
Use
sih.
the snake bite to get a little bit of damage. No one's feeling
Dapat
the fight,
3.
and Munchkin through the smoke. Oh, this is going horribly wrong for Paper X. Someone's gonna have to start defusing it. Someone's gonna have to hold him. Munchkin, what can you do?
Nggak ada waktu.
Everything, as he actually has bought enough time. They die to the event horizon.
Unlucky
and that's gonna
sih.
be Gen.G with
Padahal
2 rounds
itu
advantage,
3 orang
closing
diamnya
up
dalam smoke cuy.
to maybe
Rencananya iya mau nge-trade,
Just
dia kan gak ada yang
incredible.
defuse.
I mean, the combination
Kalau
of
ada yang
first of
defuse
all, the
oke
Cosmic
lah, lu
Divide to give them that much more
buang-buang
space,
waktu
that
di
much more
situ.
security, and then the Viper's Pit.
Ini
And how
kagak ada yang
Munchkin
defuse
is
masalahnya.
playing off of it. This is
Masih
what
nungguin
Gen.G
molly
can
semua.
do off of a post plant, and it's just that much more difficult. Paper X, although we had Monyet
Webcam
kind of like
kenapa
you mentioned,
ini
Astro, with the
biasalah
vertical play,
kamera
trying to break
murahan
through that
ntar.
Viper's Pit, trying to break through Meteor. It worked out for just a second.
Biasa,
and that's
biasa.
why it's
Ini
so
streamer
much that Paper X
magang,
has to
guys.
work off.
Streamer
And now,
magang biasa lah.
2-round differential.
Udah
How do you
oke.
climb up against that? And they
Streamer
have to make
magang,
it
streamer
happen.
magang.
If they are to start out strong in VCT Pacific kickoffs this year.
Well, thankfully enough, they do have money, creds, to
Kamera no.
have
Kamera murah udah
make
emang
something happen.
ini tuh trademarknya channel ini, kameranya butuh tuh lihat. Sumpah cuy dibanting ini kamera. Bro yang bener bro. Gua lagi nge-stream nih.
Anyways, the man himself, Ilya,
Yang
is
bener
there
kamera tuh.
on elbow, nursing himself the operator once again.
Emang trademark
He is just
channel
holding
ini
that
kameranya
angle
kayak begini
for the
cuy.
absolute longest time. He is hoping that someone is just gonna go into his spider's web, but unfortunately for the moment, Gen.G, they have their eyes set up here on that A site, and it could actually be good. Monyet's cold in for that
One-way-nya
smoke
turun.
that actually drops in and turns into a regular smoke that has a very big partial outside of A main that could actually be bad for Divide. We'll have to see how that works out.
Pengennya
He
sih
is trying to
one-way,
clear
cuma
that
turun.
with all intentions by himself.
He's got a bit of time.
Oh, he's so alone. Oh, he is so dead.
One-way-nya
this is not
gagal,
looking
guys,
good
tadi
for
maju
Paper
dia.
X. Forsaken doing the same thing. No flashes. And he
Pas banget
absorbs his
belok
opponent
kirinya
right in
tuh.
front of him, gets full flash, but the trades from Paper X are actually working. Shot through mid. Oh! Something gets it! He even finds the lurking meteor. And all of this because of the shock darts coming in from Mind Freak. Lakia will plant the spike. Monyet does not chase for him or tries to punish him. So it's the double up from the both
Ya,
of
lawan
them.
3 orang,
Something coming
bro.
from the white
Iya.
swing, and he's had enough.
2 orang cuma ada clone nyuri jadi kayak itu 3 sih.
Getting the final kill. Mind Freak. You know, there's something getting kills, we've seen that before. Mind Freak with 2 shock dart kills.
Lord
Not
second
something
diam.
you see every
Ke-flash
day,
dia
but a
layarnya
welcome sight
putih.
nonetheless. I mean, just getting the information off of Divide,
Layar
trying to play
dia
around
putih.
Monyet's dark cover. That one felt really iffy. But look at how Forsaken really comes back in, and after they get that information, just being able to, you know, put out
Shock dartnya MVP sih, sumpah. Itu shock dartnya MVP.
Gen.G can't really walk onto site that freely. So
Gara-gara lewatin smoke Viper, health-nya kan ngurang. Di shock dart mati langsung.
Posted up with that operator. That was the cherry on top in this round.
They gotta go for these adaptive risks, I think, because Gen.G is so good at just, I don't know if I'm correct with these made-up stats, but they feel like they have the first blood.
Dapat nih satu nih.
You know, very much
Iya.
locked and loaded in this first map. Something at least pads the stats.
Kayaknya sengaja comeback challenge ini.
Paper X with that peak, and that slows down Gen.G by a big margin. Not having the flashes anymore from Lakia really hurts the chances here for Texture to get more of these quick contacts into the site.
Viper mati duluan. Tapi
Definitely
tadi
slows
kena
down
decay
Gen.G.
cuy. Tuh kena decay kayak gini
They're
nih,
always
health-nya
gonna be
ngurangin
thinking
tuh.
about what's next, but now dimensional drip just to gain
Oh,
further
hello.
information. 1 minute left on the clock, and Gen.G actually going back off of a bit of a default.
Wait,
They
spike
wanna
drop,
spread
spike drop.
themselves across the entire map. Ooh.
Spike drop B.
Just saw the
Okay.
spike.
Udah harus reset nih, Gen.G harus reset nggak usah
Mr.
kemana-mana.
Risky here. You know, not even.
Dude, they are living dangerously.
Yeah. One blade storm at a time.
but it works for them. And right now, he's got information if they were to cross in the risky way. Most of them have already bypassed it, so something going to reposition. But what I'm curious about is Karen actually looking out.
Nah, harusnya gini tadi tuh one way-nya.
Well, there you go. He finds the one pick.
Pengennya gitu tadi.
There's the quick charge out. Tailwind was actually saved up by Texture, so he has capabilities to enter the site.
Oh,
Forsaken's
Wait,
not gonna
tidak
know about
dicek.
Karen here. Or does he?
Oh, kelihatan.
Action spots him out 14 seconds. Let's see what the battle comes in.
Ya, mana ayo, mana ayo.
It's going to be
Aduh.
Forsaken. Spike, though, should get planted. It's all down to Forsaken for now as he waits for Divide to back the side. What? But Texture! What a reposition! What a challenge! And what aim!
Move
has
win.
this top
Move win
fragging
gaming.
Korean brought to the Gen.G roster.
Itu kamera gue nampak jadi silabet
Texture,
sih.
what a monster! Dude,
Gua
yesterday,
kecilin
2 days
lampunya.
ago, he already had such an incredible stat line up against his opponent's RRQ. Having those first kills that you mentioned before, I mean, he has 16
Kira
throughout the
mendingan
entire
dikit.
series. I feel like this one, he got even more. But not just that, the blade storm, the aim
Tajam
of
cuy
it, the
movementnya
way
cuy.
that he cut down Divide at his knees really blocks out Paper X, and now they've earned that match point. And remember, they are still sitting on 1 timeout.
Bro can see like 2 seconds into the future, man. And in a very quick and fast game like Valorant, that's all you really need. That cascade was supposed to give some sort of safety, an access point for
Pengennya
Paper X
sih
to get
ngeflank,
more
cuma
homes,
malah
but it
mati.
turns into a signer for Lakia to, it's kind of obvious. I'm just gonna pop shots. What am I gonna lose? Absolutely nothing. And he gains the 1 kill for almost everything here. There is no money for Paper X right now. Forsaken.
Dapat dong yang belakang mati.
Myfric's gonna have to go big, which he does. Oh, this drone. This drone! Blows up right in his face, dude. It's all down to the buy. He's got a Vandal, but he's so far from the situation.
Malah syuting film deh.
I'm running out of words. I would have thought that maybe at least something would have been able
Kalah
to
Mapik
get a
deh.
trade at least, but
Kalah Mapik.
wow. Decision making just a little bit off, but then at the same time for Gen.G to pick up these frags that quickly. They are looking in new form today. William is definitely chuckling at the desk.
Kayaknya
Now they're
tekstur
just
main
1 kill
sendiri
away
cuy.
from pushing us into the next map.
Definitely patting himself on the back with his Gen.G inspired outfit. 3 versus 1. Oh my god, Divide doesn't even have any smokes to supplement himself. He just has the weapon in the corners, and that spike is just dwindling down ever so closely to exploding. He does find Texture, but I mean, Karen's just gonna activate Gravity Well. Whoops.
Iya, disedot WC.
That's about it.
No
They know
time.
they got it.
He's got no time, man. That's gonna be it. And Gen.G got themselves map 1 in this series. Up against
Tekstur
Paper X.
unstoppable sih gara-gara nonton
What
Governor
an
kemarin
unbelievable
terinspirasi.
performance, Texture.
Oh, gue juga bisa
on
main
a
gitu,
new
main
form.
sendiri deh.
Carrying through that momentum from just a couple of days ago. Karen, the rookie, still showing up huge.
Lagu
And
copyright.
Meteor, of course,
Lagunya copyright, lupa gue. Ya, lagunya ini aja bagus. Teksturnya main sendiri cuy. Gue lihat dimarahin coach sih. Pelatihnya mengamuk. Lagunya gini. Cocok lagunya cocok. Monitor yang dipakai turnamen berapa Hz? 360. Minimal 540 lah sekarang lah. Marah. Iya dia marah kalau dia nggak menang. Ya cutnya dia, potongan dari hadiahnya makin kecil. Ya marah lah. Padahal dia main juga kagak. Coach tuh vampir duit doang cuy. Nontonin doang tapi dia dibayar. Ya udah nunggu next match guys. Bang, kesaktian lu bisa apa? Bisa matiin kamera nih. Lihat kameranya mati nih. Woi mati woi, kamera disuruh mati nggak udah tuh. Sakti tuh guys, kameranya mati langsung. Nggak bisa nyala lagi, kabar. Ah udah. Baru join dah kelar matamu. Kamera lu buram, emang gitu, udah biarin aja. Kameranya trademark ini, kameranya jelek. Kalau orang lain streaming kameranya bagus, kalau gua kameranya jelek kayak begini ya. Emang biar unik tuh kayak gini guys caranya guys. Kapan game 2? Besok. Minum dulu guys, biar sehat guys. Ah. Sketsa. Bang, kalau dikasih kesempatan tim VCT masuk tim mana? Karang Taruna. PRX main. Tunggu, mapiknya baru mapik Gen.G tadi. Sekarang mapiknya PRX ntar lagi nih. Kita nonton trio Yaper dulu. Oh buram, nggak apa-apa emang gitu guys. Emang sengaja kameranya dibikin buram kayak gini guys, biar unik. Kalau misalkan orang lain kameranya pada jernih gitu, kalau gue kagak, kameranya buram sengaja. Next map apa? Yang jelas bukan Breeze. Karang Taruna Valorant Championship ya. Nanti waktu turnamen satu orangnya nggak datang gitu, oh sorry bro nggak bisa main gue gitu kan. Timnya jadi 4 lawan 5 nanti. Bagus bro, lebih bagus kalau ada replay system iya. Mana ini gak ada replay system, jadi gak bisa nunjukin highlight abis matchnya. Satunya filler kan, iya. Yang penting ada doang pemainnya. Sumpah kemarin tim secret gak usah main dah sumpah. Gak ada perlawanan gitu mainnya. Kameranya kasih mau fokus nggak bisa, emang dia nggak suka fokus guys. Kameranya lebih suka berandai-andai, jadi biarin aja suka-suka dia lah. Keren lagunya, ya makasih bro. Emang pilihan lagu gue itu top tier. Baru gue bisa, oh ini Elgato gue ada ini guys, ada sound effect. Ah ada sound effect ya ternyata. Ini terus ada ini. Terus apa lagi? Oh ini. Wih. Oh ternyata ada sound effect, baru tahu. Aduh ini sound effect apa coba sih? Nyobain sound effect dulu buat nanti. Oh. Oh banyak lagu cuy. Oh ini mau tahu alasan PRX kalah tadi? Ini alasan PRX kalah karena ini guys. Ya itu reason why we lose. DFM walaupun kalah lebih bagus dari TS. Ya DFM pasti kalah kan, gue tanpa nonton pun gue tahu kalah, ini mah gak usah ditonton. Gaptek nggak apa-apa. Soundboard berapa harganya? Ya beli aja Elgato Stream Deck.
10.000 dari
Wah.
ular bisa. Pesan, Bang monitor lu 500
beda sponsor.
tapi kok enggak masuk turnamen.
Kurang pendanaan, timnya tidak hadir nanti, kurang member. Mau main gimana? Lagu zaman jadul. Enggak jadul banget. Ini kapan mulainya sih next match-nya? Persiapannya lama banget. Menurut lu pro player yang lagi gacor banget siapa? Governor. MVP-nya VCT yang kali ini Governor nanti. Rating paling tinggi deh. Impact kill paling banyak, entry frag paling banyak dapet, duelist paling sering entry. Governor. Capek nunggu. Iya, gue juga capek nungguin. Ngopi bang, enggak, minum air aja nih, masih ada sisa segini guys. Air gue masih bersisa segini guys. Snack FF masih ada guys. Guys, daripada main Valorant mending main ini ya guys nih, FF. Snacknya Free Fire cuy. Ini yang mau claim tuh hadiahnya tuh, gue nggak main FF, saya tuh claim aja hadiahnya, dapat skin ini guys. Dapat skin ini snack FF cuy. Dari kemarin segitu mulu, berkurang cuy, kemarin tuh masih setengah, kemarin segini cuy, kemarin segini ya kan. Terus gue minum segini, hari ini habis, besok beli lagi gitu. Besok beli lagi. Mulai Lotus sabar Elgato. Mulai guys. Udah agen pick tuh. Ya wajib race sih, kalau Lotus wajib main race, granatnya OP sumpah. Udah play, sabar. Nah.
That's the sound of something being
Audio setting, audio engineer nih bu.
Okay, that's right.
Main guys, Lotus guys.
Caster's desk, and this is what you're saying. Come on.
Oh, Lotus kayaknya omen dong cukup kali. Lotus hanya satu buah omen lebih dari cukup. Viper terlalu banyak gak sih smoke-nya? Mending main Gecko gak sih sini?
True, and again, feels like something might be back in his element now that he has that jet back in his hands. It seems like when he was on the Yoru, he was just following set guidelines. It wasn't the same something that we were kind of mentioning.
Nih anak Keres dia granat tripwire hancur.
And in case I thought Gen.G was going to commit on that C site, but no, just a bit of noise here and there. Maybe hoping to coax a bit of rotation from PRX, which has worked. But if obviously Gen.G doesn't know that, but they're still going to hit the other side on B.
I mean, that's the other thing, it's just that this is a map that, PRX
dimajuin
can
aja.
game tape off of because Gen.G did play this, against
Trademark PRX gameplay, defendernya maju, dapat info di play.
Something that is feeling a little bit more swift, a little bit more fluid.
Something get in? Oh, I thought he got into the door. He opened it himself. Here's the fight. They're gonna try to go for the pitch very quickly.
Dia menang senjata jadi nggak takut tuh.
This B side, there is no solid ground here. It is all quicksand. You gotta move, or else you're just gonna fall into the depths of the bullets. Meteor's by himself. That's
digangguin terus.
PRX, solid start on the pistol.
Guys, map Lotus mending Cypher, mending Killjoy kalau kata kalian. Kalau kata gue sih Cypher ya. Killjoy soalnya kalian rotate mati sih. Turretnya mati, outbotnya mati.
It's a little bit tougher for Gen.G to break through.
Udah dapat info aja clear nih B ini.
And I do like how, sorry, I was just getting caught by the replay real quick. I do like how
Cypher bang, ya Cypher kan. Killjoy kurang guna ya.
Gen.G, you do not want to let go control of C-Long on Mount because doorway control is so strong, especially
main
now
control nih langsung. Gara-gara granat kan nggak bisa maju, mereka defender yang majuin langsung main control nggak bisa maju itu attackernya.
Just gives them more opportunities to keep Gen.G pinched into the B side, which allows them to flank around much faster.
Again, that's something that PRX uses very well on the on the defense. Mindfreak just making a bit of noise. But look at how Gen.G is playing defensively. I mean, that's one thing that a lot of teams
Aku
have adapted
chamber,
to
Bang.
against
Kamu
Paper
pemain
X,
sesat.
expecting or anticipating that they would push out a lot on this defensive side. So they are playing so far back right now, and now that the first minute comes down, now they walk on up to B.
They're about to open the door. Yeah, there's the haunt activated already. Forsaken's
Iya,
ready
habis
and
peluru.
fast, but there's too many numbers here.
Udah 4-2 sih teksturnya.
They've lost the weapons. And
Wih,
they've
diculik
losing
semua.
numbers right now. Monyet's gonna have to hold this by himself. He is down to a very dangerous amount of HP. And something
Karena
all down
outlaw
to
ini.
him. Thankfully enough, the rest of Paper X.
Coba dia
they've done
pakainya Spectre.
done some with their jobs.
Lawan musuh banyak no problem men. Tadi pakai outlaw satu kali
Meters,
nembak
the
gak kena
life
udah game
all the
over.
Gen.G players down to have. It's a
It is
lot
a Vandal.
more digestible for something. Vandal indeed in his hands. He's already activated Tailwind, but Gen.G's not biting. They know they have the numbers advantage. They know the
Mereka ngarepnya beli outlaw tuh karena musuhnya force buy, beli armor gitu, jadi bisa one hit. Musuhnya Eco, mainnya barengan.
Yeah, if he got one kill, maybe he would have gone for even more, but without that kill, it's just way too risky. He never knows if someone is holding an off angle, a bit of a crossfire against him, so doesn't want, to get swung upon contact either. And it's just unfortunate. I mean, well played by Gen.G because they played it safe. They had those haunts and bits of setups just to draw out some of these Paper X
Mau
players.
udah
right?
lihat
They
dong
heard
di
the door, they
CS,
kind of had an
udah.
idea.
Bukan orang gitu, nggak
Might be my
mungkin,
freak, he might
apaan?
be around the corner. Let's check. And with so many
Datang
players up
dari
around the
entah dari
corners,
mana, main jago
it's
banget,
just
bukan orang
Paper
gitu.
X kind of putting themselves in awkward positions and not quite landing their shots too. That's the thing that surprises me the most because it feels almost as if there's like a bit of that mood shift coming back on stage. Alex talking to them that way, and after having lost the first map, they can't be feeling too good right now.
Ini mereka mencoba push aja yang main control sebisanya. Gak jadi itu di smoke.
A to B very quickly. Again, using those connectors from site to site to put a lot more motion in the ocean with how they rotate. Gen.G is doing the exact same thing, and it seems, at least for now, in these couple of rounds,
Gitu amat timingnya.
It's one timing for something there. He's actually going to chase for the kill here. Thankfully enough, there's a lot of utility for Meteor to give himself that space. And,
Dapat 2.
Yeah, 140
Tuh tadi PRX pengennya kayak begitu, cuma gak kejadian. Jadi kalah.
Meteor's not even going for the headshot there. And that's just unfortunate. Again, I mean, half armor, you want to get a kill, at least something. Create a bit more space for the team, but can't find all too much. And
Kemarin siapa menang? Prabowo enggak. Belum realconnya belum.
again, not a feels good moment, but for Gen.G, I mean, right now, we were talking about it from the previous round. You're talking about how they love to, find that motion in the ocean across the map, find that space and push into the A site. They always have players watching their backs. They always have players watching out for those pushes from Paper X.
Oh, di wallbang mokat sini. Di wallbang mokat sih.
Playing as that Killjoy makes it so easy on Lotus. All you have to really do. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting Monyet to survive that. All you really have to do is place your alarm bot on C-Long or A main,
Demon
depending
1
on which side
kapan
you're actually
main?
committing to. You
Minimal
put it
lihat
elsewhere.
ini
And that
turnamen
one
apa
turret
dulu.
on B, or is just enough to check
Nama
out all
Monyet
the
jadi
flags
kalah.
also.
Gak ada chemistry-nya sih.
Yes to your help.
Tadi juga di
Also
Breeze dia
just-
main Omen kayak main sendiri gitu, disconnected from the team.
He always bought Marshals in round 2 last year when he was the primary duelist for Gen.G. Now onto the Sentinel. I was saying because I saw a double Odin.
I thought you were going to point out the double showstopper available for both the duelists very quickly here.
That too.
I love having ultimates very early into the game. It makes you very aggressive. And it looks like... Okay, let's see. All right, that's going to be a trade for trade.
Di
Texture does get Monyet first.
Basoka
The
dibalas
cells, 3
Basoka
versus
gitu.
3. I mean, what was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to say when you see 2 raises?
PRX pengennya defendernya main agresif, nge-push
You really
gitu.
just have to have your hands up in the air.
Gini aja siap cuy, dibalas lagi sama
Again, Gen.G able to go into the C site.
Resnya balas
and able
terus
to
lagi
plant that
cuy.
spike in, and the quick rotation, the quick huddle around Rubble works in their favor because now all of the utilities that
PRX
Paper X is gonna
tergesa-gesa.
sprinkle
Nggak
around the map have
tergesa-gesa,
been
memang
subverted
game
for the
plan-nya
most
mereka
part, except for
defendernya agresif nge-push
this
gitu.
one really weird off cam
Cuma
from
ditungguin, selalu ditungguin.
Forsaken that's been spotted.
Surprised that he caught it.
Kalau misalkan di awal ronde yang ngepick awal tuh dapat 1 aja, menang PRX langsung.
Getting those heads up duels will be advantages.
There's the NT, not nice try, but the neural theft activated. Meteor still holding on, man. He is a force, he is a force to be reckoned with. But Mindfreak comes up to win.
Dari tadi semua pemain sini abis kill 2 overhit deh. Gak bisa dapetin kill ketiga.
Man, oh man, if Forsaken didn't pop off there, I shudder to think what would have happened for PRX.
And just before I go into the analysis, can you do that again for me, Asar?
No.
Really?
No. We will do it again when we have the same exact situation happen.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that.
We don't want to overdo it. We don't want to overstimulate our audiences.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, sick.
Asar's voice stimulating and titillating. It was really fun. It was really fun. But I mean, again, the main thing is after the exchange, right? The both showstoppers, the rotations came through. Gen.G reads it, and then the retake coming in. You've got this Odin, but Forsaken getting the heads-up duel, and just Meteor holding the angle off. It's beautiful Valorant on both sides, but
Odinnya cuma ngarep nge-damage doang, jadi pas masuk set udah pada low.
Now, seems like we're back, you know, down to even. Door's been opened up, but no one wants to charge in.
Gen.G jago lawan RRQ 3 game. Lebih cocoknya tekstur jago.
So they don't want to get, you know, peppered, wallbang to oblivion.
Tekstur tuh nge-hold timnya sendiri. Kalau nggak ada tekstur, sulit sih menangnya.
No one's actually inside this position, so there is a lot of merit that they might actually break through that.
Udah masuk aja cuy, ngelewatin tripwire gitu.
His timing is going to be very crucial. Forsaken chase a little bit too hard.
Saya dapat guys, kece guys gitu.
He can activate it right now, let the rest of his team come in, or use it as bait, force the rotation away from PRX, and go elsewhere.
And that's the best thing that Gen.G has going for them right now. The number of options that they have thanks to Meteor getting that first kill. But now, committing over to the B side, paint shells in, it buys PRX a little bit of time for something to come up with the judge.
Minimal udah dapet C ke C, malah ke B. Dikepung depan belakang dong.
He can just be as patient as possible, hold for the rest of his team. That's all he really needs to do. Texture stayed, not gonna do much damage, but he does pick it up. Something's got a cloud burst. He can get closer and closer here, create that tempo if need be. But the one that's gonna have to hold the most is Meteor right on top of that B site, which he does, leaving Mindfreak in a 2 versus 1. They've doubled up onto the corner.
Aneh mereka ke C langsung ya, nggak akan mati 3 cuy, nggak akan miskin. Next turn masih bisa beli.
You mentioned it already, man. They're stacking up, and he can't do the high-low. Too slow, and that's gonna be Gen.G with a round advantage.
Tekstur di GE nggak kayak gini, gajinya kurang berarti. Di Gen.G kayaknya bayarannya lebih gede, makanya mainnya lebih semangat.
Wow, what memory you have, sir?
I don't know. I'm thinking of like Dapper or something.
Ini orang bisa kecek gimana ceritanya, cuy.
Back into this one, it's just so darn good from Gen.G the way they're playing this.
Observernya nggak nunjukin killjoy yang nge-flank, C. Bagaimana ini observernya?
Maybe he will be able to buy the attention away, but Gen.G doesn't bite that bait. They stayed hard up on stairs, B stairs, up against you know, some of these players from PRX like Mindfreak, and making sure that they wouldn't be able to push out.
Yeah, and again, it's because they don't really have. They can rotate elsewhere on the map. They still had Meteor coming through C that got the kill on Forsaken here. That's a trade for trade. Something's got
Itu dia tembak cuma 2 peluru 2 kill.
Wants to create more tempo as the rest of PRX come into waterfall on that flank. 3-3.
Oh, apakah highlight moment ini jatuh highlight moment?
Smokes from Monyet, or excuse me, from Mindfreak.
Nggak ada dash ring nggak jadi.
Coverage here. Paranoia to delay them just a tad bit.
Habis sama aja dia nggak ada dash.
One satchel pushes right in. Caron holding, thinking he could be top of the spike. Numbers of PRX dwindling down. Something's gonna have to make something happen here. That right click, very shallow, and that's just gonna be a clean pickup, clean cleanup.
Hypernya magang. Ya 4 seconds hypernya magang.
Gen.G's too fast, dude. I can't react in time.
We can't even say.
Dari tadi dia duitnya habis beliin trap sih. Lihat tuh, karena dia duit 400 perak doang gara-gara beliin trap, beliin cyber cage.
Something getting the blade storm going was, you know, a glimmer of hope, but just a bit of hope at best, because it was just way too difficult. Gen.G saw the plane coming out. They knew, all right, let's just go in the sea instead. So something's
main cybernya nggak enak cuy. Maksudnya nggak pernah ketemu sama dia pas gitu. Kalau misalkan musuhnya main cepet, ngeras, enak dia mainnya. Tinggal kena trap, mainin trap. Cuma saya musuhnya nggak ngeras gitu, sabar sih. Tiap kali ngeras tahu, oh ini nggak ada trap cypher. 12-in aja. Ini coachnya mau nyombong pen spinning, gue juga bisa nomor. Ballpen gue mana tuh? Nggak ada ballpen gue. Itu teknik namanya Sonic guys. Gue ajarin di channel kedua gue. Viewsnya 100.000, gak ngerti gue juga. Siapa yang 100.000 orang nonton cara muter-muter ballpen? Menghela napas. Nah udah mulai lagi.
That high that they got. And it
Ini PR sekarang ganti playstyle. Nggak akan gamble satu set doang. Tadi kan mereka mainnya 3A, 4A gitu.
There definitely is a change up here from something. There you go. I changed my words already. Anyways, Monyet still hasn't really
Tuh
shown what
majuin
he's
C,
got
majuin
on
B,
this
oke
range.
info
I don't think
dapat
he's
nih
got
musuh ngarah ke
too
A
many
gitu.
big of highlights. You know, it's just the crossing of the streams of those showstoppers that we saw, but that's about it. Still pretty early into this game, though.
Not really feeling all that much yet,
Oh,
but
there you
at
go.
the very least, trying to get a read for Gen.G's game plan right now. We've seen a lot of
Main
that
retake kayaknya
mid
bisa
lane
mereka.
play, like you mentioned before, Asal, and PRX are trying to adapt around it. They
Ya
know that
PRX
Angel's
kayaknya
available as well,
main
so just
retake
trying to play
bisa sih.
away from it. Now they're set up for
Smoke
something. They
omen,
need to-
Sky gangguin,
Just toss
defuse
pink
sih.
cells to deny spike plant, but look at how Texture's hunting.
Oh my god!
Gak kena dong.
He barely dodges that, gets out of harm's way. But that's the power that they've got. Big kill onto Munchkin there though, but Meteor's still holding on Rubble. If he can hold on to this position, his teammates can rely
Oke,
on him to
dapat
hold
satu,
that
udah keisolasi
long
gini.
angle right now, but not available anymore. Texture throws the nade from up above on Heaven, so they know that somebody's at least up there as he tries to reposition. The rest of PRX coming in closer, something floating, stinging like a bee. That nade is going to be so strong. Lakia, wow, over-analyzes the situation and gets punished for it. But Texture,
Wallbang,
it's
wallbang.
all in his wheelhouse,
Yeah.
baby. Smoke does dissipate, so Devi very quickly will be able to get that refrag as well as the complete defuse, and PRX strikes back.
Yeah,
Kalau
classic
dia
PRX
wallbang,
protocols coming
aman
in
tuh.
for those trades.
Cuma nggak mau ngambil
Something, the
resiko
shorty
deh.
floating,
Mati
into
lagi
the dark
kameranya,
cover. That was
baru-baru.
always, you know, that's always fun to watch.
Udah webcamnya
But it
hilangin
all
aja dah,
started with
sumpah
Monyet.
kesel gue.
I think he was trying to create a little bit more space, but the
Guys,
pixels
webcamnya
didn't go
dihilangin
off,
aja.
and he died really
Webcamnya
early on.
dihilangin
These
aja.
shots coming in from Gen.G. However, once something comes in, once for
Andai dia wallbang, cuy. Andai dia wallbang.
for those trades, then we see the PRX fold. The PRX that we're all familiar with. We need more of that.
Kamera
though.
mati.
Kids
Iya
just always
tahu,
rely on
ya
these
udah
retreats.
biarin
This
aja.
round was won thanks to Alex's timeout. That was thanks to, you know, the read that they had, knowing that Lakio would go in for that Nightfall.
Yeah, and again, as I mentioned already, losing both the players holding Rubble, the long angle, was such a huge discrepancy for Gen.G because they can always have someone hit the reeler outside of A main. Anyways, moving into this round, there's only one player holding that A side, and it's Mindfreak. He's put himself the one-way smoke on Tree here.
Oh, udah PRX sekarang main retake tadi tahu retake bisa nih kita nih udah main retake aja.
Very close into challenging him just yet, but now they
Ya
do.
info dapat ngarah ke A.
Wow. He's just going to get pushed back, and Monyet just making sure that Link is unoccupied by the rest of Gen.G.
Yeah, Forsaken too. At least getting the frag onto Meteor, but now the hit comes through.
Devi holding the backside, anchoring it for the moment. Waiting again for Monyet to double up with him and try to do something as of now. Dog is available. Monyet, like that reposition. Wait, what is happening here? Locky is trying to run away. He opens the door quickly.
Belum
backs
dengar
up.
plan jadi dia nggak ngepick.
Something. Doesn't have to challenge him just yet. Munchkin has the wall, drops right down, and he has so many angles to deal with. The crossfires, too numerous for PRX, and we equalize once again.
Yeah, this is what we want to
Yang
see
main
from
aja
PRX.
main
This is the
belakang,
PRX
main
we
sabar,
need. The
retake.
tempo at which they're going, not just, you know, going for those early aggressive kills, trying to find frags or chasing down Meteor. In fact, what
Ya
they
tadi
do is
soalnya
try
mereka
to pull
nyoba
back.
agresif A,
You've got
dimajuin
Mindfreak,
main-nya,
set
main
up that
kontrol,
one way. You
nggak
know,
dapet
hold
cuy.
your space, make sure you
Digangguin
gain
terus
map
sama
control,
tembok
and they got
Viper.
Devi just kind of getting information off of stairs, jump peeking a little bit. Once they confirm that the hit's coming through, they have an idea of where Meteor could lurk in from, and that's what they want. That's how Forsaken picks up that first frag. That's how, you know, Mind Freak does a little bit more.
Speaking of,
Nah, tiap ronde mereka majuin B sampai ketemu musuh. Dari tadi gak ketemu soalnya.
Loving how he does it. I mean, yeah, sure, he doesn't get any kills, but the threat of him of getting that kills and forcing Gen.G to put that into the factors of how they push up into a site is pretty huge. I will say though, I don't think I've seen Forsaken be successful in holding a site. He's been good at getting the lurks because he's Forsaken, but the setups that he's done on C really hasn't resulted in Gen.G you know, being thwarted. Meteor has gone there and got those
Lama
fights, so
banget
I don't know
sekarang
how
ini.
far he can go into this. Pop Shots does put Munchkin down to 56.
It always makes you think twice about wanting to lurk or at least call some rotations over. They know that there is a bit of Paper X presence all across the map, and Paper X is no
Nah, karena
longer
Gen.G-nya bingung.
really pushing out all that much
Dari tadi mereka ke A kalah.
So Gen.G
Ke B ada operator. Ke C ada trap sniper, jadi mereka bingung mau kemana ini.
It burns down the timer. Look at the clock, Asarai.
Look at this though, Gen.G can actually go for that link, and if something is too slow,
Yeah,
even
miss.
if he escapes this, he's gonna get pinched in. Unfortunately for Paper X, Meteor gets it once and for all. Monyet comes in here with a showstopper, and the rocket goes boom boom. That's gonna be Monyet get the finalizing kill. And even though something
Satu
falls,
tembakan
Paper X
miss.
were very quick to
Game
adapt
over.
and to respond to the offense of Gen.G.
I will take that budget, that bootleg, boom boom from Asarai. Not quite the one that we got from before, but you know, still good.
All right, stop chasing it, stop hunting it. You'll get it when there is a well-deserving
You were absolutely right with the setup that something had. I mean, I would have thought at least you would be able to secure at least one op kill, right? But
Yeah.
the rest of the team reacting that quickly,
Dapat
yet
dua
knowing
terus
for the
smoke deh.
showstopper that soon, that was what Paper X needed. And
Ngandelin
that's
minimap,
why
dia
you
lihat
have to
minimap
have this
doang,
setup
arahin
from
ke sana,
Paper X. That's
dapat
why they're
dua.
not pushing out all that much. It might not be, you know, full-blown W gaming.
Timeout
but this is
lagi. Coachnya marah-marah nih, lihat. Coachnya muter-muter ballpen sambil marah-marah. Ya banyak orang Korea sih yang nonton. Emang di Korea ya. Mana coachnya nggak ditunjukin? Cam kamera, udah hilangin aja dah, sumpah. Sabar malah hilangin itu jangan. Hilangin aja guys supaya tidak menambah value apa-apa kamera itu. Kamera lu ya udah biarin aja dah. Ya udah mulai lagi.
Quicker.
That's right.
I mean, look at this. 9 kills for the man.
Back when he was an Onyx, you know, APAC,
Kamera bang. Nggak udah hilangin aja, tidak ada kamera-kamera.
Kid is talented. But I mean, apart
I
from
can't
that,
believe he's like 10 years younger than me too.
okay. I don't know how old you are, right? But anyway, I mean, this is a round where Paper X has some guns. Gen.G on the other hand, is
Ngasik.
more of a
Lu ngasik.
half-ish, force-ish, not half buy. Yeah, and you're always thinking about, like, you know, they called in that timeout. They want to suss out information and get a feel for how Paper X is defending this time. But something's not going to make it that easy.
Iya hampir dapat 3.
Close up in the face of Monyet there. Something's gonna back away, retreat. Danger, alert. That nade clearing him up once again. Not big damage. But as that door keeps closing and opening, they don't know how many players have already exited, how many players are still holding. It's holding. It's Texture, 1 down. Something.
Oh.
Ooh, overflex. And that's Meteor. He can call back his teammates if he wants to. There it is. Lockdown available. And Meteor opens up the A side by pure sheer power.
I got to see the replay on that.
Timnya tidak ngeplan tuh.
So
Diam di belakang doang
interesting and
gitu.
off-putting how Gen.G is approaching the map. It was a half buy.
Terima kasih Wisnu udah
Just
join
had
member.
this squad of stingers.
Ya Tomennya diam di belakang doang, kagak ngeplan, kasihan kill dia udah main sendiri gini.
This man might not be the Guardians of the Galaxy, but he is the Guardian of Lotus. 4 kills for Meteor on our Guardian.
Serem bos, lagi menyala dia.
That's pretty insane, dude.
Menyala
He is
abangku.
tapping heads left and right.
Yeah, first of all, we had the space from Gen.G, like I was mentioning before. I mean, it's a little bit weird to open the door and then just hide inside a tree.
Kayaknya something jangan main operator dulu. Lagi bau.
Meteor is the one that, you know,
Ente tuh Fade 0 kill atau?
because of his sharpshooting, he's able to
Halo
pick off their heads
075
just like
laki ya,
that.
halo.
Something wasn't quite able to deal with it,
Berkamera
and
gua,
that's
udah
something
balik
I
guys kameranya
definitely did
mantap
not
guys.
expect. I
Cuma
want
gelap
to see
kurang.
something with his op, really, you know,
Ah,
really
udah.
pop it off, but he's not doing it so far.
Gelap dikit gak ngaruh.
With all of the abilities that can really flush you out as
Ini laki ya ntar ditelepon. Halo? Besok nggak usah main ya, libur ya. Tapi nggak usah masuk-masuk lagi ya libur utamanya ya. 075 apaan sih?
Slurry of non-flash abilities that can really irk you if you're something. So Gen.G's been using that to a very good extent.
Now going up against him as well.
Wah,
However, he
akhirnya
holds his ground, picks up the first one and backs away.
menghilangkan kutukan.
So this gives
Operator peluru belok. Oh, dapat 2 nih. Udah siap dia, udah kanan tahu dia. Wih, laki kill 1, laki kill 1.
Ready for that.
But here comes something.
He's got a tailwind again, so he can get out of harm's way if need be, but overpeaks. That's gonna be.
Udah kebaca dia bakal repick di spam.
Honyet's now trapped here on drop. That Han supposedly giving away position, but
10.000
somehow Forsaken
dari
managed to
someone.
squeeze his way through
Pesan,
the back of the side,
halo
leaving
aku
Cat
Maha
by
Dama.
himself and find Frank for the pinch.
Thank
That
you,
is
Donut.
going to be Paper Rex holding off one more round, and as
Oh, udah halftime aja nggak
we are
kerasa.
here for the last round of the first half.
Sudah main 12 ronde kill
It's
berapa?
a really close score,
1.
and it doesn't put Paper X out of harm's way. And if you're thinking about it, I mean, something maybe
Satu killnya bukan impact kill lagi, kill nggak guna
did
itu.
enough damage for his team to arrive on scene. And that's another thing. It's just Forsaken playing this role, you know, unless they're walking into his traps, unless they're going into him, we won't often see him popping off that way unless, you know, he arrives with his team.
Yeah. And I love this from Forsaken
Wih,
again.
melewati 2 trap cuy, canggih banget lompatnya.
That can use these sentinels and look at the
Langsung
man,
mati
he's still
tapi.
getting kills left and right.
Lompatnya udah bagus.
He's got himself a
Tapi
shot.
beloknya itu loh.
Long range, he's got the sheriff.
Meninggalkan side-nya, jadi teammate-nya nggak bisa maju deh.
Maybe there's a world where he can use that Viper pit. But look at how many players of Paper X are just holding that angle right up in his face.
Yeah, look at the cones of vision on the minimap too.
Yeah. But they're getting closer.
Dimajuin.
Hold on. Wait. Oh my
Ah.
god. Oh, the heart attack, man. Just think about it.
3
But
players. All right.
yeah.
Something white swing. Okay. We got this.
Yeah.
7-5.
Apa
is not
itu
too bad
main
for
sabar?
Paper
Kami
X.
tidak tahu main
Obviously
sabar.
not the, you know, score that you would envision for a team of this
Ah,
caliber.
half team. OP-nya ngantuk. Enggak. Coachnya yang Gen.G mana satu lagi jadi 1v1 coachnya. Tadi 2v1 loh coachnya loh. Sama itu Red Bull di belakang gak laku-laku itu. Dari kemarin tidak berkurang satupun botol Red Bull itu. Berarti gak laku itu, gak ada yang doyan Red Bull. Memalukan, sponsornya gak ada yang minum. Minimal sponsor tuh diminum gitu. Ah ini nih, lime mineral. Taruh di mana sini aja. Nah sponsor tuh guys. Sponsornya diminum sama gua tuh. Lihatnya kayak gua mukanya. Nggak itu lu layar HP-nya masih mati tadi, lu melihat pantulan diri lu sendiri tadi. Ayo mulai.
agree with that, and boy oh boy, he's 39-3 here coming into this second half.
Texture still
Habis diminum restock. Kagak dari kemarin nggak pernah ditunjukin ada yang minum satupun Red Bull.
Of course, now that Forsaken, you know, gets to stretch his legs on this attacking side, hoping that we can see a little bit more from the team that, you know, won us VCT Pacific finals last year, and then of course going to champions as well. I don't need
Yang
to
keyboard
introduce that,
sama
everyone
headset lu
knows.
pakai apa?
Effort with both teams
Wooting
actually fight for
80 HE.
Because the thing about Lotus, at least in the pro scene that we've seen for the most part, is people will just, do basically this. Commit the Rumble plays, and Gen.G,
Ya.
those
PRX
things
kena
are
obat sendiri.
very
Tuh PRX pengennya kayak gini tadi waktu defender gagal terus. Sekali jadi coba sama Gen.G.
Mind Freak.
Mokat semua.
He's alone. He's got dark cover to work for days, but his
Senjata
opponent,
makan tuan,
they
cuy.
can last for months. So
Strateginya PRX kayak gitu. Cuma gagal kalau PRX. Kalau pas Gen.G mokat langsung.
Meteor hears him. I wonder if there's a world where Meteor tries to stab.
Nah, di klik kanan lagi nih.
If he overpushes.
Gue di klik kanan kan bener.
No.
Play it safe.
Current teams, no. No knife.
Wishful thinking, man. Wishful thinking.
But I mean, it's just how they play, you know, very controlled. They know the setups. And I do kind of have a feeling that this is something that Gen.G had prepared. Studying game tape from PRX before, knowing that this is definitely something that we want to go for, right? This rubble control is so useful. Gives you legs to have that option towards A or mid link if you want to set up split pushes. They want to deny that, and that one
Konternya
game
PRX udah
not
lihat.
to mention Lock.
Ya lu kira coachnya dibayar buat ngomel-ngomel dong? Kaget cuy, dia riset cuy, nonton YouTube dulu sebelumnya, nonton tips and trick main di Lotus, 100% ampuh.
It's the safety for the A side. No, it's the danger for Rumble for you if you're trying to push that. Speaking of pushing though,
diculik, ketahuan, smoke terlalu obvious. Dua.
The double jumping PRX.
Yo, but they still got the shot, man. Whew. So although Manyan makes it through, has a bulldog, can't go up against
Sangar bos,
Backseat.
Emi
Now,
bos.
what?
Last player
All right,
standing.
down to something with a Marshall. 3 versus 1.
Party's over.
Makes it a
Gila
quick
Kemi.
2 for
Nggak itu dihitung sih. Come on, pick, 3, 2, 1, lompat
very much
gitu.
out in the open for him. He's got a dash. He actually repositions.
Selama teammate lu punya kuping, pakai headset, ya denger dia.
It's very risk, so he has to try to do
Kalau
something
teammate kompe
here.
mana bisa?
Oh my God.
Nggak ketembak.
He even got the crosshair in the head near the body space of Lakia. Something overdoing it, going back into C-Long. I mean, it was for the information, but he kind of overheated in that situation too.
Really close. I mean, at least had the right idea to tailwind out of that Harry situation and to play for time a little bit, trying to distract Munchkin. But, I mean, Lakia. As soon as Lakia goes in, though, just knowing to crouch and
Kalau somethingnya diam doang menang ya. Lepas keyboard, lepas bos menang ya.
Stand out fragger, but in some situations knows exactly what to do, has enough experience.
Wih, Lakia kill 5 langsung. Dalam 3 ronde killnya 5 kali lipatnya tuh.
It's tagged up. Correct me if I'm wrong, we casted Lakia last year, right, on Ascension Pacific.
Yeah.
Bisa nggak kalian 5 ronde killnya 5 kali lipat kalian?
Not really get an opportunity to really showcase what he's got there, but the Gen.G here, very much different. In a very good way for Gen.G, by the way.
Of course, now with enough economical damage, Gen.G not having the best guns. You know, you got a Ghost on Texture, Charon on the... well, it's Charon still. PRX buying up, trying to do what they can. You've got something on this Outlaw, but Gen.G just respects all of this space and plays for numbers instead.
Half armor easy bro, tembak badan mati.
It's going to be a tough retake for them.
Fair enough. Especially with the rest of PRX holding both stairs and a heaven.
Orang beli half armor makanan sehari-harinya Outlaw tuh. Makanan sehari-hari. Ya di wallbang.
Charon does get that angle against something, but damage is already done here, Quack. Gen.G, I feel like it's only going to be exits and a bit of economic damage that they can really do in this round.
Makes me wonder if it was like the barrel peeking out. But
Probably
that,
is.
Again, yeah, it's just Charon still.
And you know, it's that nerd talk about line of sight. You get closer into a corner. You can see your opponent faster than they do. We're not going to get deep into that.
34 degrees here in the corner of the wall.
TLDR, guys, the closer you are to a wall when you peek a corner, the worse it is for you. The farther you are from a wall when you peek a corner, the better it is for you.
Thank you, Asarai.
Yeah.
But yeah, still, a round picked up by PRX still, as they move forward. But Gen.G has definitely caught up, winning out that pistol in the subsequent round after that. So now buying back up, I mean, we saw how Gen.G, you know, this round really just kind of playing it safe. Still a lot of damage, but Apart from that,
Itu di
just
belakang
thinking about how
counternya
else Paper
vitamin
Rex
C
can
itu
come in, because
nggak laku
here
cuy, masih
the
banyak
game
botolnya
really
cuy.
starts to rev up.
And it's
Terus aja
still
timeout.
so neck and neck.
Mau berapa puluh kali timeout? Senjata berburu bebek. Senjata berburu semut tuh Marshall, senjata berburu bebek outlaw. Keyboardnya pakai wooting semua ya zaman sekarang ya. Udah gak zaman keyboard biasa ya, pakai hall effect semua ya. Kamera mati, matamu mati. Keyboard puting abang mana? Nih keyboard.
Ultimate
Babar.
cash
Audio
from both
engineer,
of our
audio
teams.
engineer.
Paper Rex has got a little bit more of the strong suit with the blades and the showstopper available here, but Gen.G not lagging too far behind. If Texture can get that one kill, he will have access to that showstopper.
Gen.G kalau nggak main agresif lagi susah sih ini.
Which is why Paper Rex is trying to get a read for that off of Gen.G's timeout.
Gen.G-nya harus selalu
We've seen
main
that game,
agresif
we've seen a
tiap
bit of
ronde,
their
kalau nggak
C.
keculik sama PRX.
Haven't seen all too much else for now, though. I mean, newly formed Paper Rex with Monyet now, just executing at the C site. Kind of bypassed Munchkin's judge.
Spike down.
Oh, but look at that door play from Lakia.
Lakia lagi menyalah cuy.
Man.
Dapat
Again,
spike lagi.
The door opens so quickly that you can't really sometimes react to the punish that could follow up from the defenders, and you see that activated so quickly here. Something now just going to be holding with the judge first. I do like this because, again, you don't want to play that close and hope for accuracy. You just want to go for the pellets first of this shotgun. Munch is going to be first on the pedestal.
Pengennya sih pick jauh.
On the corner, he will
Pengennya
go
pick
drop
jauh,
down
cuma nggak
by
yakin
something.
deh.
Coming in right now is going to be Monyet using that showstopper of his to delay even further. Meteor's getting in closer. Lakia as well. They need to make something happen here. It's all down to Lakia. Good for the first. But there's so many just high angle position from Paper Rex that he cannot even flick quickly
Vipernya tidak pede. Pick aja padahal lu pick lebar dapat satu.
Yeah, great solve on the C site.
Kelamaan nunggu belakang tembok mati.
Utility Divide with a guiding light as well, and just pushes Munchkin away enough for something to get into position to do things like this. I mean, he was really a lot more calm.
Nah itu ketika manusia itu tidak memiliki rasa percaya diri ya, kayak Viper itu.
Down to it as soon as they picked up those numbers, as soon as they figured out where Gen.G was going to approach from, much more easy.
Padahal Lakia sudah kembali, sudah tidak beban lagi, tapi yang lainnya malah berbalik. Ngamuk deh. Munchkinnya ngamuk cuy. Dimainin pakai jet langsung dia one dig.
Doesn't matter if he is alone or with teammate. What a dodge from Mind Freak! Oh my goodness! They're trying to rally.
Mengelak bagai diplomat ulung. Di headshot.
From Caron, and it's all
Lihat Lakia sudah kembali cuy. Lakia pemain defender berarti. Main attacker dia cupu, main defender sangar langsung.
I mean, all that utility, all those shots starting things off. We had the Sheriff, and all they really did was kind of just wait for that contact from Paper X. Once that green light was lit, Gen.G knew exactly how to get going, and it just definitely is a Paper X.
Timeout terus, timeout. Terus timeout. Oh, PRX sekarang yang timeout. Guys, dari tadi kita tuh dikepung depan belakang guys. Jadi kita harus cari satu set ya, terus kita langsung bablasin aja guys. Woi, coachnya Gen.G, lu trik cuma bisa itu doang. Kabar lah gue ambil bolpen, gue kesel semua. Nih ya guys, cara muter bolpen tuh gini ya. Dia triknya cuma gini doang ya. Harusnya dia bisa bolak-balik kayak gini nih, bolak-balik tuh ya. Atau ke kelingking juga bisa nih, ke kelingking tuh, gitu trik tuh. Trik yang biasa juga gini bisa tuh. Ya. Muter-muter ballpen tuh gitu, jangan cuma gini-gini doang. Ente ngapain gini-gini doang, bosen bro. Bolak-balik lah gini tuh. Ya. Udah mulai lagi. Pamer. Ya dia juga pamer di kameranya lo, sengaja lo gini lo di kameranya lo.
Getting to buy up onto the next now. You've got to note it back on Forsaken.
Ya jago, iya yoi lah. Harus lah. Ini juga bisa nih. Wih.
Okay. Oh, the Haunt actually gave away the position there of something as well as Mind Freak. Nade did stop Paper Rex for just a few seconds here, Quack.
Nah bener kan mereka main 5-an, karena 5-an kalah langsung.
Really the biggest of
Gak usah lah default tuh 12 ini langsung kalah gitu, kata coachnya gitu.
But look at the positioning that they have. Texture still up around, he could go up the ropes if he needed. And then you've got Munchkin just ready to welcome them with open arms on the other side of Link.
Mereka ngarepnya dapat Viper sih, dapat Viper mereka dapat set gampang. Wah lah. Buffering coy. 12 insight langsung bisa mereka. Kalau dari tadi mereka coba default rotate susah. Mending 12-in aja langsung.
Okay, Divide does find Munchkin here, making it a more palatable situation for Paper Rex. Lakia opening the door. The Forsaken finds him with an Odin.
Iya, malah keluarin pisau.
Meteor's gonna just have to run away here, or just stay in the site, whichever. They're already pretty rich, so they can just buy up into the next round anyways. So he can make this into an expensive endeavor for Paper Rex.
A little bit expensive, Monyet dying. But yeah, that's always funny when you open the door. Hello, say hello to my little friend, and Forsaken's on the other side. But
sorry, I just wanted to say that's why.
Kalau misalnya ditawarin jadi coachnya PRX, gak mau nggak dibayar.
But this is a big reason why you can just wallbang for days that specific angle, whether you're attack or defending, and it is such a huge. Look at this, it's such a huge.
Itu unlucky sih, dia dengar pintunya kebuka langsung dibablasin. Mendengar pintu terbuka langsung dead.
And that's what Forsaken is doing again. Just to give Paper Rex a little bit more map control, but yeah, Charon.
Okay,
Gen.G mencoba lagi Rush Aiming tidak bisa.
Mind Freak and Texture have been just blasted away. Speaking of which, Monyet
mencoba agresif dia, tidak bisa bro. Sudah terbaca.
We have a bit of calm here as Paper Rex do get access onto that A site, but the rest of Gen.G already right now the back of things. Meteor finding one, lockdown activated, but it is a little bit shallow. There still is position.
Dokternya nggak nyampe tree, sayang
as well
banget.
as outside right there of stairs, and something holding the blades as well as the operator. This makes the long range fights a little bit more palatable here for Paper Rex. Haunt does give away his position. They use that Haunt to actually get closer.
Timing.
But Forsaken holds for something. Something now against Meteor, 2 versus 1. That box not really giving too many angles for him to have
dari
safety
Samuan.
on.
Pesan ular sakti bikin sakit 9 bulan.
That's gonna be Paper Rex.
Nggak sakit, sembuh.
So although they picked up quite a bit, making use of the
Nah udah ini decider map cuy. Pertama kalinya dalam berapa hari ada decider map. Biasanya 2-0 gitu dominasi. Sekarang 2-1.
The stairs area that you can also watch from it. Divide knows how to play off of his teammate that way.
Ya padahal posisi kebuka banget loh di situ. Ya I don't care katanya. Posisi kebuka I don't care gitu.
And when Paper Rex are having fun, you know it's a dangerous time for you. And I'm having fun, because that means that we're going to get a game 3.
You need someone to keep those spirits up. You know, if not, something or Ilya will get really in their heads.
What is this? Okay, just, open the door, get tripped up.
Oh, biar nggak ada yang muterin pas dia buka pintunya.
A little bit closer into the A main
Wih,
position.
tiga
That
gitu.
works in the favor here of Gen.G. As you saw Forsaken get blasted very quickly. They're very close into the opposition right now, but Divide realizes that he has to come pinch in for his teammates. Oh my
What
God.
the movement, bro.
Again, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee for something, loving to use that floaty.
Belok pelurunya.
Sniper is actually missing as they try to reposition quickly. But now they know. Meteor's position exposed. He's only got a Marshall in his hand here, Quack, and it truly is danger time for him. If he loses this, PaperX will be on map point. Wow, okay, Meteor!
Dapat 2 cuy.
That's the same Meteor that we saw from Gen.G last year, doing things with the Marshall. But still, I mean, when you think about it, PaperX definitely had this round in the books. Very close to it, though. 2 kills with that Marshall. I mean, Gen.G's whole game plan was to really try to find a way, pull off something unorthodox, right? Make use of that toxic screen to surprise that 3 players on the other side of it. That said, though, Monyet on the other side, PaperX having game plans. A plan B, really.
Ada apa dengan voice comms ya?
I'm just gonna stay quiet here and let us just enjoy the laughs of the Vi.
Langsung rotate, udahlah, tulis mati.
But as
Rotate aja.
I was spewing some nonsense words, we've already seen some great impact actions here from Gen.G as something's been
Tapi rotate cepet cuy, belum nyampe defender cuy.
Again, Gen.G still threatening a lot of that control on Rubble. This means that it's only down to really Monyet to entry into the site. The Vi activates, but Meteor is here to just again anchor things. Denies access into that C site, and PaperX will have to scratch their heads a little bit here. What happened? We tried to push in and actually fall on our
Apakah
heads.
dicek
Meteor
kirinya?
repositions for this right angle. They might not know about this.
Oh, di serigala. Ini nggak kelihatan tapi.
Really just makes it difficult for them to gain any
way too
point
much.
Control.
There's so much delaying that the rest of the PaperX members on the other side, if they go into this, it's not a favorable numbers duel. Something kind of losing the Charon on the other side of the map as well. It just doesn't quite
Ini nggak
work out
kelihatan
for
di
them.
bawahnya dia.
Gen.G gets to extend
Iya,
their lives
terseken.
in this map.
Terseken.
Yikes, that haunt. Truly going to be the nightmare there for PaperX, and you say it already, man. It's gonna extend the lifeline.
Udah bagus-bagus ke timing, di bawah gak dicek. Diseken.
Have himself the sniper in hand. What happened here at this point? Ah, yes, there it is. Charon getting that quick Rubble control. PaperX couldn't push up because of all the delay tactics that we saw from Gen.G. And then
Tadi miskom sih itu ratio aja, sisanya di belakang belum pada siap.
It's all these tiny, slight bits of utility. You know, Meteor has the nanoswarm. It kind of slows down the rest of the team. They can't quite follow up with Monyet because of it. And keep in mind, PaperX has spent both timeouts at this point.
Ya, apakah tekstur sudah kembali? Kembali menyala tekstur.
Ooh, Charon, where did he come
Ya,
from?
enggak.
Picks up the 2K. There's the quick flash from the Vi. Okay, oh, hold on. The Vi gets 2. But never mind. All right, I'll bite my tongue.
Dari tadi terpojok pakai sheriff dong pada dapet ya.
Gen.G really having solid control on Rubble, man. There is no answer for PaperX in these past few rounds.
Past 2 at the very least. The adaptations, I mean, that's another thing with the PaperX structure.
Lihat guys, Lakia sudah mengimbangi skor teammate-nya guys. Dari tadi attacker cuma kill 1 doang, sekarang defender 10 coy, udah mulai 2 digit gitu.
Spent those timeouts, and this means, you know, unless there's a clear answer, we might actually have.
Nggak kayak kemarin, apaan tim secret si Ndok tuh apaan? Udah beban sampai akhir match beban aja terus.
Camera
texture and an off.
Yeah, there you go. Does give away the position too of his opponent right in front of him. It's only Forsaken really just holding A main. He wants.
Nah, PRX sudah tahu kita nggak bisa ke A guys. A-nya main agresif mereka. Tapi A-nya minimal 3 orang gitu. Jadi mereka bisa ke B, bisa ke C gampang.
They're so far back from both sides, man. They haven't really done this kind of slower approach at all in this map.
Oh, di fake cuy.
There's not that much control.
Kayaknya keluarin serigala di fake langsung rotate semua defender.
Being spent up around this one spot. And then of course you still got Munchkin available with that toxic screen. A is a very difficult spot to hit right now, but trying to make something happen off of the Odin suppressive fire.
Ayo tekstur.
Okay, they open the doorway into
tekstur.
Texture, here you go.
Selalu dapet deh, dia pick tipis dapet.
PaperX are pushing blind into the side. They gotta just go for that big contact. Something.
Apa dibalas sih? Entry frag GG.
Showstopper activated. Does that stop the plant on the spike? Yes, it will be. But it's trade for trade here, Quack. It's not the end of the world. Something
malah naik flying fox ya.
Gets hang by the rope side. Lakia.
Lakia ngapain bro? Tunggu plan bro.
At this point. There's the plant on the spike, 2 versus 1 for Meteor, but
10
Meteor
seconds left.
has truly been
Spike planted.
a miracle worker at this point. They're backing up into the corner and something finds it with the 4K.
Laki aja blunder
And we
cuy
are
di
going
akhir-akhir.
to
Nggak ada
map
suara
number
plan dia ngepick.
I mean, in that last round, you could feel almost. that
We go
10
to map 3 guys. Map 3, decider. Jadi itu Laki aja dapat ngepick cuy, terlalu pede cuy. Spike drop padahal nggak ada suara plan, nggak ada suara apa. Ya map 3 gaming guys, nunggu dulu tapi lama ini map 3 nya ini. Banyak cewek Korea nonton ya. Post plan-nya banyakan PRX cuy. Udah dapat plan dijaga, Gen.G dapat plan mati. Venue-nya di mana? Di parkiran basement. Wih, lagunya mantap ini. Bagus lagunya. Aku suka. Ya elah, nunggu next match kapan lama banget. Kita ngobrol dulu dah. Ngobrol dulu guys. Sama ini kamera gue kenapa tiba-tiba jadi gelap gini cuy. Why you are gelap? Di gedein ISO-nya kali ya. Kita gedein ISO. Nah, ini 1000 ISO ini. Udahlah segini aja. Dulu bentar ya, udah nyantai dulu. Santai dulu gak sih? Ngantuk gua bang ya, sama udah aku habis nonton PRX and stream ya guys. Yang next match itu apa sih? Nggak seru ya kayak next match, udah nggak usah ditonton. Yang buram nggak apa-apa, emang sengaja gitu. Emang sengaja buram. Minum dulu guys, jangan lupa guys. Itu guys cara minum guys. Coba lawan Bleed. Udah nggak usah tonton, Bleed menang udah. Keren ya, makasih. Mending kita pipis dulu nggak sih? Yuk guys, kita ke toilet bersama guys. Pipisnya digonggongin anjing. Pipisnya digonggongin anjing cuy. Live mandi apa live mandi coy. Ada suara bang. Iya cek lagi pipis sih gue ngomongin anjing takut langsung. Bang kapan upload? Enggak udah nggak mau upload lah males capek ah. Mau udahan aja lah. Ngapain upload. Selain Leminal suka merek mana? Merek Amidis bagus. Komputer gue minumnya ini apa air Amidis nih. Liquid coolingnya pakai air Amidis. Gue udah nonton hampir semua video lo, nggak ada yang baru. Ya udah. Uploadnya pun malas, nanti aja lah. Kan kalau kata Squidward, kalau bisa besok kenapa harus hari ini gitu. Ya udah besok aja. Rerak bisa lolos nggak? Enggak. Lawan Gen.G aja kalah. Guys mau lihat trio Yaper nggak guys nih, lihat trio Yaper nih. Kabar Elgato-nya ngedelay ya. Nih guys trio Yaper berbicara guys. Kalau kita lihat di komennya nih. Mana stop talking ya. Oh enggak belum mulai stop talking masih belum kesel penontonnya. Masih belum kesel penontonnya guys. Ini trio Yaper ini gak usah ditonton. Kalau temenku gak jago nonton video lu ya udah. Mungkin temenmu ngira lu cupu jadi dikasih tutorial biar jago. Jadi setiap kali mabar sama lu nggak beban. Mungkin gitu niatnya dia. Guys the rank. Nggak ini bentar lagi juga mulai nih. Ntar lagi mulai nih guys. Nggak jadi ntar lagi nggak mulai. Ini kita ambil tunggu ngapain guys. Kita sambil menunggu. Oke bisa guys the rank ada yang baru nih. Kita guys derang. Klip. Habis nonton VCT M gini aja diburik ya. Lihat M ya. Komunikasi jalan. Musuhnya pakai ability gitu. Smoke-nya benar tempatnya. Ya ini musuh ngapain? Tunggu ulti killjoy dulu lah. Tunggu ulti killjoy baru maju. Ini sebelum ulti killjoy udah maju. Gimana ini? Ya ada tulus cuy. Kenapa ada tulus? Silver. VCT membuat Valorant terasa mudah. Bro. Kalian bisa nebak rank gak sih? Ini tuh udah jelas Iron 3 ini. Ini Iron guys, ini Iron. Ironnya tapi Iron di Platinum. Diamond lah. Immortal. Iron 3 yang tadi itu. Oh ini orang Korea nih. Lagunya dikecilin dulu. Ini server Korea emang orangnya gak jelas semua mainnya. Di Prefire cuy, ini di Prefire. Di Prefire gitu bro. Kocak buat emo kayak gitu. Biasa lah emang beda region beda rasa cuy. Beda region beda rasa. Ini timnya Gestra nggak ngecek dulu lagi, yang tadi tuh palsu itu, ranknya palsu, nggak mungkin tuh apa-apaan. Gestra kayak website jelek guys, timnya nggak ngecek dulu ranknya beneran atau enggak nih. Ini contoh yang ini pemain gold nih, sumpah ini pemain gold kayak begini tuh. Ntar tiba-tiba sini Ascendant Immortal gitu kan nggak jelas gitu. Pemain gold ini. Ya juga kita platinum kan ya. Tuh kan gold sih. Udah mulai. Oh iya mulai cuy. Bilang dong. Kalian nggak
Where I
bilang.
feel like Cypher has such a high tiering here. How can PaperX actually deal with the tripwires when
Sunset.
they don't have, let's say, a Sova? You know, to
Sunset
break
metanya kayo cuy. Kayo. Terus duelisnya. Wih gak ada duelis PaperX. PaperX no duelis gaming cuy.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a bit of a head scratcher. This entirely duelistless composition is not something that we see all too often. Actually, I don't think we ever see it.
Yeah.
Masuk site jalan
It is
kaki.
PaperX after all.
Say that 10 times fast, right? But I will say on Sunset, the
Oh,
Sage
tuh mereka ngarep omen ya, pakai omen cuy. Omen teleport.
elevations that the smokes of Gen.G might not be able to blot out completely. That being this one as well, as we can see here on market.
Nggak
Gen.G is very
jadi.
aware of this, and Davio is almost taken down. But the separation, though, does allow them to get the pickup onto Munchkin. Now, the rest of PaperX is going to be holding back the site, and they're just going down to work. Gen.G not in a comfortable spot, and they're just going to have to try to wiggle their
Adu
way out
angka
of this.
doang ini,
as
adu
we
angka
turn
pemain
into
nih PRX
2 versus 1,
main.
But this could be a quick transition if Meteor can find some good timings on this, but he
Wah,
gave
ente.
away that location of his because he threw out the camera.
Just a little bit.
Nge-picknya mereka adu angka cuy. Wah cuma satu yuk pick doang gitu.
Things back. I mean, this is what we want to see from them on the attack, from the defending side. You've got that Sage Wall, which is actually really interesting because it blocks off market, and now it allows for the rest of them just to, you know, be free in a target-rich environment. We know that they're going to approach from A main. We can just hold our ground and start picking them off bit by bit. Mind Freak with that ghost shot, picking up the double kill, and that's the PaperX that we see.
At least for these
Outlaw-nya
next couple
keluar
rounds
lagi cuy. Emang
before
Outlaw
Gen.G
lagi
gets those rifles,
mencoba jadi
the
meta.
Sage Wall is going to be somewhat harder to break down, so there should be a lot more safer position for PaperX to drop it in. Don't worry about that angle for a good chunk of the round and just be safe. Anyways, Forsaken, Outlaw, Contact,
Boom.
success. Actually, very successful. 3 kills for the price
Bos
of 2
Acok
bullets.
gaming cuy.
Very, very good start here for Forsaken.
That's what, 300% success rate? No, that's terrible math. In any
How
case,
could you? We are, you know, we're
Lah.
supposed to be good at math.
Why?
Because we have phones that have calculators and you can check it.
Good save, good save. That said, yes, I mean,
Ini
we do have
casternya pada ngomongin
calculators,
apa sih?
we have, you know, the credit score being
Casternya
calculated
yapping
for
sih.
us. Forsaken getting a lot of those frags, and it's immediately putting a door stopper to anything that Gen.G throws at them. Not to mention Mind Freak off the lurk, and also towards the last kill on towards Karen. They kind of knew that this would be where Gen.G was approaching from, and it's just a good check from Forsaken nonetheless. So interestingly enough, we're swapping around roles so much from the Cypher now to the KO.
Dinaikin. Picknya dinaikin
That's what
coy.
the Outlaw and the Sage
Yeah.
is for.
I love the elevation, man. I told you, there is going to be so many cheeky positions that you can utilize this with. And of course, the byproduct of just blocking off a certain pathway that Gen.G will
Nah,
have
dia
to break
nge-bait tuh.
or wait for
Omennya
it to
nge-bet
break.
doang, ntar dia maju di judge menangis langsung.
As you can see, forces Gen.G to be a whole lot more respectful of just, you know, pushing up into these certain positions. Ooh, Meteor, boot spotted.
Infonya
Yeah,
cuma
they don't wanna lose
mid
their-
flash udah.
Full
Awas
Viper
B,
on that
awas
quick,
B.
right? They don't want to give the bonus over to PaperX, and so just trying to be very careful off of it, cut noise, and then the execution through.
Niatnya mau
Texture
lempar
getting this
molly,
first
tapi
frag
aku
actually
malah
does so much
mati.
for them because now they have more options. Not to mention Munchkin making use of tiles to walk up front on mid.
Did they close the door on market though? That's still open, isn't it not? Okay, there you go. It's still closed up, so Forsaken doesn't have to worry about that for the moment. No aggressive push out here for Gen.G just yet, Quack. Maybe waiting for or just letting Paper X cook for the moment.
Lakiannya
But since
asar
they
atau
have to, some
gimana?
of their players have to go for the half shields.
Tersesat cuy.
Absolutely terrifying. Texture's already here in the front lines, and the damage, the aim, the
Main
lethality
sendiri.
absolutely felt. Forsaken pushing in, picks up so many weapons. This man is
Dari
an
mana
absolute
dapatnya itu?
Inspector Gadget. Charon.
Can't reload.
Oh man. He's waiting for his teammate though. He's waiting for something. Who has the
Ace.
wingman? Oh
Ah.
no, the stun. The way he
Ah.
actually uses this, he does not. Charon. 2 headshots.
Iya,
Holds
Forsaken.
it off,
Woi,
even
udah
through
kill
the
4
pressure
gua.
of utility chasing him down to the ends of the
Udah
earth.
kill 4 udah
Definitely see a
kalah.
slight bit of miscom, a bit of a mishap towards the end of that round. Forsaken starts things off incredibly well. Of course, Gen.G tempers with that, just trying to play
kok
carefully
kena
around
stun?
mid as well, you know, gathering up towards A and then executing in. But then,
Kok gak kena stun tuh wingman udah meledak gitu gak ke stun cuy. Ngebug gamenya sumpah. Game ngebug coy, itu harusnya ke stun ya.
So Charon just pops off and now back to it. PRX does not want to let up.
Again, that's talking about it, man. This Charon newcomer for Gen.G already showing
timing.
why he's
Ah,
you know in that spot.
tertangkap basah.
Punished. Divide holding a very high angle here. Not gonna get spotted, so he will get some damage in, but Meteor somehow manages to get that back.
Ini kelihatannya pemainnya udah pada capek ya.
Will not have the north left
Dari
foot.
cara mainnya kelihatan Emi udah gak setajam tadi.
Does he activate it? Paranoia huge. Is he really gonna
Ah, udah menyerah.
I love this. And
Menyerah.
welcome. Okay. I was about to welcome him, you know, to the Blades, to Thunder Gaming, even though it is PRX.
Hey, we're not in Tondo.
True, we are in Sunset. You know, it's located in LA. Thank you.
But you gotta admire the movement, the way that something plays off of this. You know, just securing the round. My kill, yeah. He's off for that 4th quad, right? And also one more point after having spent the
Nyari kill coy biar stat dia naik.
You know, playing off of that dizzy, they managed to pick up those kills as Gen.G tried to make a play through mid. So PRX definitely adapting around it, getting a lot of good information because of their utility.
And again, you know, just to get in a different point, it felt that
Bang,
this is
kenapa
the
anak
comeback
SMP
for
hardstock
something
padahal
in
main dari kelas
this
5.
specific
Cupu.
the specific series is Forsaken.
Wih,
He's been putting the hours in that outlaw, man. I mean, he doesn't even have
dari
the
tadi dia
headshot,
outlaw
all body
satu
shots
pelurnya nge-kill terus cuy. Biasanya satu peluru 140 habis itu mati menangis. Kalau ada yang pakai satu peluru nge-kill, satu peluru nge-kill.
Doesn't allow him to push outside of market cleanly, but yikes. Is he gonna get thrashed in here? Actually, into the
majuin.
pit with Texture and teammate. Doesn't matter though, as they chase.
Udah di flash dan di smoke, dia bukannya undur majuin smoke-nya. No
Not
fear
afraid,
mainnya.
right? To throw his body in so that his teammates can kind of use him for information. And that's kind of how PRX reacts so quickly. As soon as they can confirm
udah
that
kill
the hit was
12
headed
aja
towards the
4 second.
site, you had everyone rotating over. And just to kind of
Tuh bisa
set up
gitu loh
around
dia
it.
mainnya
Forsaken
satu kali
getting those
badan
two kills
140
pretty much
nge-kill.
confirms that the hit was headed towards B.
Kalau gue yang pakai 140 gak mati musuhnya, malah gue yang mati.
Okay, I was waiting for like something else for him to
Timeout.
say. He just said guys, so.
Semua jatah timeoutnya dipakai ada di match ini beneran. Habis main CS nggak ada senjata kayak gitu. Pakai scout juga kena badan 70-an deh mereka, nggak mati. Karena lu skill issue. Ya skill issue, tembakannya kena skill issue ya. Pernah ketemu Forsaken gak bang di kompe? Sering. Ini game keberapa ini? Game ke-12. Bar.
but better.
Audio engineer.
And it's just really,
Ngatur
kind of
volume dulu.
allows them to make such plays, but it works out on the defense. On the attack, we'll have to wait to see. Right now, Gen.G has caught the timeout, so they've definitely switched something up. Going for
Minimal
full
kalau
commit into
nge-flash
A instead.
musuhnya bukan nge-flash temen
They
tuh,
have
flash kayak
showstopper,
temen loh.
man.
Very much committed a lot of utility just to get into A main. They haven't even pushed yet on Link. They haven't committed to push yet on Elbow.
I'm scared about this elbow.
Truly. But
Terus dalam hal
look at
nontonnya
how
POV
many
semua
players are
kelihatan.
already here on tiles.
Ya enggak lah POV
Does
timnya
much
doang. Kalau POV musuh kelihatan
He tucks himself in
nge-cheat
the corner.
coy.
They might not be able to clear
Didiskualifikasi
out. Might
langsung.
get the best sandwich position of his life.
Wah,
He needs to do something here and now, which he does. The bind does
Flanknya
go for
mantap.
trade. No walls just yet. He actually boosts himself up. What a chat moment here from Divine.
Weh, Texture Gaming.
He's got the showstopper. Divine, say your
Texture
prayers.
Gaming.
And that's gonna be that Gen.G. Oh my God, they got pressed by PRX, but they got themselves out of a tight situation courtesy.
tapi
of
tadi
the man,
Gen.G
the
flanknya
myth, the
kurang
texture.
koordinasi sih. Viper di belakang masih nungguin. Yang depan udah nge-pick mati.
Just committing the showstopper
Standing.
and truly blowing things up to secure one more round for Gen.G.
Ooh.
That said, though, I mean, PRX, what a good way to push
Dia
on
pun
titles.
khawatir.
I love the reaction story that he just did. Was a
Bahkan
quick
dia
side
pun
into
khawatir
half.
sih.
Alright, same play
Oke,
here for
coba lagi.
Texture.
Nah, kali ini flashnya
No contact
bener.
just yet, though. Just no, they're really pressing up into this. They're not slowing down compared to last round here, Quack.
Kalau tadi
it
dia
is
aja
a
yang
full
ke-flash,
defense
kok karena
right now for
flashnya bener.
Gen.G. They want to get a quick start onto this post.
Hanya
by
dapat
the looks of things.
langsung.
They want to position for that
Planted.
for the good goods of this, as I mentioned, post plan, and save up as much utility for when PRX
Oh,
tries
Laki
to
yang
come
nge-push
into
nih, mau
the
nyari
site.
kill biar naik
Yeah, right,
gaji.
same thing coming through. They know that PRX is definitely not going to make the exact same play. Something investing into this operator as well. So unless they can get clear vision, it's going to
Nggak
be
jadi
so
naik gaji,
difficult
Laki ya
for them to break
cupu.
through. But that's a great way to start.
Niatnya mau main depan dapat kill biar bosnya nonton, wih jago kamu mainnya. Bayarannya naikin. Mati. Kalah rondenya.
Textures is so far. Even if he can win some of the fights here, he's just way far from stopping something from defusing that spike.
Kalah gara-gara siapa? Laki ya.
Maybe it was Gen.G overextending a little bit outside of the smoke. They wanted just to check for information.
Overextend demi naik gaji.
Just as quick by PRX. I mean, the outlaw being fired off, but then everyone else just coming in just.
Ya lihat deh pemuda tersesat.
But PRX, the movement that they got. I mean, Monyet maybe just a little bit more comfortable on this this Omen.
Yeah, there's also that point where Lakia wanted to push out of his flash, but he flashed nobody, and then he just didn't know how many players of PRX deal with as he was holding that specific angle on A.
Oh, dapat info, oke, B-nya nge-pick guys.
For Gen.G. Try to play things slow and careful. They don't have
Retake-nya bagus. Iyalah, ada orang yang overextend nyasar, gampang retake-nya.
Back towards A. You can see that PRX are changing things up again. You've got control over B shops, B main, and you don't see anything. So you have an idea of what
Itu di slow warp enak itu.
why Divai as well as Monyet are playing that far back on A site.
Ya, mereka maju di slow warp enak banget nih, Monyet farming. Nggak di slow warp. Tetap farming tapi.
Stop them dead in their tracks with the paranoia. That is a death sentence here for Gen.G if they're not careful. Thankfully enough, because of the smoke that they've had, it allows them to get access to the site, but
yang mati yang belakang loh. Yang mati yang belakangnya dia.
Reclaim what was theirs.
That's just a pretty lovely spray transfer. I mean, you're absolutely right, that's right. It's just a bit of a death sentence for Gen.G. You know, they see that they don't really have any options, might as well just commit to something. But what they did not expect was such a setup. First of all, Monyet in an elevated position, and then, like you mentioned, right, Divai, he could have thrown out the slow orbs, but he was also just in position to gun down anyone that tries to step through. Now we've got some ultimates on the side of PRX. We've got 3 coming out from Gen.G.
Udah 6-2 aja skornya.
But, you know, they're not really the ones that you want to initiate fights. Gen.G needs a catalyst.
Speaking of Gen.G, they're still going for A. Sanity is doing the same thing over and over again.
Ngeras B.
Push down mid.
Dapat info, oke langsung rotate A semua di
And the different
flank.
result is You're absolutely right. Paper X, they've committed for this mid control. They thought that Gen.G would actually mix things up and try to go for that mid
Ultinya
play.
diambil lagi cuy, dapat
And
lagi ultinya.
It isn't. It doesn't. It's gonna be Gen.G once again holding for A, but Meteor is lurking. Maybe that's the difference.
It does buy a little bit of manpower away from the rest of Gen.G, so Meteor stays towards the back. The rest
Gen.G
of them
belum
come back
latihan
towards the front
sunset.
of A.
Mereka strateginya cuma A doang.
Thrash activated for the second time. Divide
And
cuts
plant.
off the corner. Plant denied actually. Texture somehow manages to pick up a kill with the paint shells. No safe space just yet for Gen.G. They have to start holding some crossfire angles while they
terkepung.
start defusing the spike, and he's using his teammate as some sort of third POV. Oh, info gatherer. Not gonna allow them to push up just yet because
Itu
of
revive
that
rencananya
toxic
biar
screen.
bisa maju.
And here comes the
Nggak
contact,
bisa
and Texture is
ternyata.
coming out on top of this, and it's somehow working somewhat
30
favorably for
seconds
Gen.G for a moment
Tapi
right
masih kayak
now.
shuffling
But
lagi.
again, no plan on the spike just yet. Numbers still favoring the Korean side though. Something comes in with the
Spike
operator,
down.
dwindles the numbers a little
Cyphernya
bit.
salah flank cuy,
TP
Cyphernya malah
comes in
ke
around the
situ.
corner. How close does he know? Very close, he knows about it. Oh my god, no way Meteor.
Ya Meteor salah arah cuy, kalau dia belok kanan dapat flank banyak tadi.
Get laid out dry.
Dia
and
nge-flanknya ke
Paper X
depan,
full
nggak ketemu
control.
siapa-siapa.
It was a nice flick from Meteor, but yeah, not quite enough. Full control from Paper X. I thought things were starting to get really dicey, especially up around Link. I mean, if you look at what Gen.G was about to do, yes, they wanted to get that spike down, but they couldn't quite do it because of the Thrasher that came in. Because of
Sayang
this
banget
flipping
Cyphernya padahal bisa
threat that
nge-flank
was
tadi.
Paper X. However, Texture was just
Tapi
held on
malah
the
ke
other
sini
side.
Cyphernya.
And if you look at the layout of the map, there's so much more space around Alley, around Elbow, and that's what Gen.G did. But as soon as that op sounded off, man, things started to go wrong. They had the pressure of the time against them.
And playing on the site itself, unless you're getting pushed in, you don't really have great line of sight on any position on A. So that's just very bad boo-boos here for Gen.G.
Boo-boos.
Now they're mixing up.
9-3, entah. PRX gak ada duelis, ntar attackernya agak suram.
And now they're gonna try to go
Tapi bisa sih masih ada
pull
Omen
their
sih.
way onto
Look
B.
at the setup on B.
This is something with an op too. Oh wow, they might actually get collab here if they're not careful. Into the corner is also Mind Freak.
Sudah siap di posisi
They've come into
situ.
the trap, man, of Paper X here. Come into the spider's web, as they said. They're gonna have to try to pick up this spike
Yeah.
if they can. Something's just denying it every single time. Meteor's here. Divine knows about it, and Paper X. Is the world back in order now? They're 8-2 here, Quack.
Very much more comfortable, but then, you know, it is still just the first half, right? I still want to see how this composition works on the attacking
Kasus
side.
attacker side.
But that said, I mean, this is
Kalau
such an incredible
PRX
performance.
main
You're
mid
talking
nanti
about it,
bisa sih.
Paper X fold, but it's also just
Mainin
how they
midnya
are
mereka.
controlling the map. Gen.G actually looks a little bit lost, although they possibly have studied how Paper X played this before, watching AVL, but that was what Jing
Timeout
was when they
lagi,
had a raise.
timeout
This-
terus. 10 menit ada habis buat timeout doang. Ya muka pemainnya sudah capek gitu. Wih, banyak cewek Korea ya guys. Ya coachnya Gen.G sudah mulai menangis, ngusap mata. Aduh, gua gaji kecil nih, udah susah-susah gua teriak-teriak gitu.
Themselves these 2 rounds as we are almost coming into a close for the first half.
Cuci
Tell you what, though,
mata,
Asteroid,
cendera
we've
mata.
got 4 ultimates on the side of Gen.G. Texture on the showstopper, I think. is the
Coachnya
one,
Gen.G cedera
shining light
matanya
that they were
di
looking for.
timeout.
They could really use that to break apart Paper X. So I wonder if Alex can anticipate this. But looking at Divide,
I mean, he does have the safety of Monyet right with him. They don't even know if Device boosted here. They
Yeah.
aren't aware of it.
Hancur temboknya.
Device might actually get one.
Yeah.
No, Monyet holding his hand.
Ultimate
It's the
backup
Paper
itu
X
gila.
security system, dude. And just as the smoke comes up, the buy gets a whiff of Meteor pushing in, and in just the blink of an eye, Quack, 2 drop down from Gen.G.
Ini si Munchkin 2 kill doang deh.
Whole game plan has just been thrown in for a loop. How do you recover now? You've
Lakinya 3 ya. Si Munchkin kan lebih di bawah laki ya apa?
Maybe Charon, but I don't know how much this paranoia can really do. Look at the sight lines that PRX has covered. Something in case
Udah
someone
capek
pushes up
pemain
in, you're gonna
Gen.G.
get fragged. If you go through market, maybe, but it's a full 5-on-3 retake. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's
Pas
the
banget
worst
tuh
possible
smoke-nya.
opponent they wanted to give the kill for, but again, there's nothing
Smoke-nya
really
musuh
that
malah
Gen.G could have
nyelamatin
done
si
in this
something
situation
gitu.
other than go for that.
Itu pengennya smoke biar bisa nyebrang malah
They wanted to actually
nyelamatin
get someone
musuhnya.
so that they can get into a site. They had the Viper's pit, but the one person that they didn't want to give a kill when they have a pit is something because of the Thrash. So many things that was working
Lu lihat
against
ultimate
the
backup
favor
gitu,
here
man.
of Gen.G.
Just so interesting how this composition is actually so good against Gen.G right now. Apart from that, also just how Devi was holding off a main. Man, the celebration's going off. I mean, that wall actually, throws off texture a little bit.
Ya, last
If it wasn't
effort.
there, he might have
Rush
just
B,
felt
Rush B.
a lot more free to dive right in with that rocket, but not now. Back off to this though. Last round of the first half, let's just rush into B. Why not?
Imagine if you actually didn't pick up the rifle there.
Kena slow
That would have
orb,
been very, very bad.
kena
It was
flash.
everybody's blind up until this
Iya,
point,
itu.
but that snake bite, man,
Teksturnya
they're just coming
menderita
into
parah
this.
cuy, kena slow
We'll call
orb,
this the
kena
PRX grinder.
Molly Viper, kena ulti
Pushes it up.
gecko, udah
There it
mati
is,
langsung.
2 remaining players
Tinggal
on
nembak
Gen.G,
BTW.
now down to Lakia. He
Wih.
is lighting things up like a Christmas tree.
Hampir.
But it's all for naught as he loses the bullets, and there's still 2 remaining players of PRX alive.
Oh, good attempt.
Half time.
But still, yeah, this PRX
Itu sumpah sih, itu
res.
resnya kasihan banget cuy. Karena tadi kita mundurin dikit. Ini namanya res kasihan guys, ini namanya res kasihan. Ya dilempar slow orb ya, dia nggak bisa lompat kan. Lompatnya nyangkut jadinya.
Anyways, everybody's
Kena
blind up
ulti,
until this
kena
point,
stun,
but
kena
that
Viper
snake bite,
udah.
man, they're just coming into this. We'll call
Udah
this
dia
the
lepas force
PRX
pas keyboard,
grinder.
males ah udah.
Pushes it up.
Males ah udah,
There
nggak mau
it
main
is,
dah.
2 remaining players on Gen.G, now down to
Ini sama
Lakia.
T3 gimana
He is
caranya
lighting
tuh?
things up like a Christmas.
Throw.
What did it say? I wasn't reading it.
My BF loves you more than me.
Oh.
Mana ini nggak mulai-mulai
At
half
least,
time
you know where the extra love comes
Ayolah.
from. Or
lagu copyright. Bang, tanggapan lu soal player baru PRX gimana? Malah menurunkan overall rating ya. Biasa kalau main gini gampang gitu kan, nggak skornya deket-deket. Tadi Breeze sampai kalah dulu, biasanya enggak. Lu coachnya udah mulai pundung lihat. Tadi duduknya agak tegak melihat ke depan. Sekarang duduknya agak bongkok melihat ke bawah. Itu udah pertanda denial, men, denial.
be the make or break for Gen.G.
Masih lama guys, 30 detik.
You lose the pistol round as Gen.G, you're forced to force buy. You do not want to play 12, let's say 12 to 2 or
Orang dalam
12 to
Riot,
2
nggak orang
with
luar.
Nothing, but you know.
So yeah,
like
when it's
10 straight
11-2,
rounds.
you got to straight up just force buy, try to scrounge something up together.
Absolutely.
And that's why there's a little bit more pressure onto these Gen.G players' shoulders right now. They have been showing us a lot today. Texture has
Nah,
been
ini gue juga
bragging
suka
out
main gini, Gekko-nya nge-vomit
here as
gitu.
well. Let's see if
Very
they can
quick.
keep it up.
I also wanted to add as well, Devi, he's been the utility boss on this Sage. You know, no safety for himself. He just full blasts, get everything. No shields, all
Mereka
utility.
gain vomit, oke, midnya nggak
Man is
di-push nih
giving
guys.
his
Nyantai berarti.
effort. He's giving his life for PRX at this point. There's the wall. Cross it up. No tripwires to be afraid of.
Wow.
Planting the spike very quickly with the wingman here. Backs away safely, only leaving... Actually, no. 3 players very nearby, willing to fight inside near the smoke.
Ya, mereka main depan soalnya
Dizzy out as well.
Oh,
gak ada yang bisa delay
But look at how
diffuse-nya.
cleanly Paper X are just breaking them down. This wall is separating fights from Gen.G. They can't even create these crossfires anymore. And now here's the number game. But Gen.G strikes
Ya mereka
back.
susah gak ada yang bisa delay
By
diffuse.
himself. Does he have the time? Does he have the utility? Does he have the angles with the Sheriff?
Itu 2 kali
And
kena
that
gak mati.
is a resounding no. Gen.G, when
2
all
kali kena loh
looks
tadi itu.
lost, Paper X pushed in and they counter, they strike back.
This might be a dated reference, but that's a no from me,
Berarti
dog.
wingman jadi duelis. Ya bisa.
I mean, they looked so good on that execute. You got Gecko, you got Wingman, little homie getting the plant in for you. Nobody was there to really do anything.
Ya kan gak ada
because
duelis
of the
susah
Vice
guys.
wall
Udah
and
post
clocking
plan
off
gini gak ada yang bisa
market that
delay.
way, but Gen.G just
delay
kind of holds
diffuse, gak ada
back.
bisa
I was a
delay
little bit-
retake.
I'm feeling a little bit iffy about a full 5-on-5 retake. But as soon as the firefights started to break out around pillar, Paper X started to push past the pillar, and there
Oh,
was
Gen.G
a
gak mau
little bit of
outlaw
a
nih.
crossfire that Gen.G made use of.
Yakin
Karen
gak mau
getting
pakai
those frags out
outlaw?
now. Divide just
Lawan
couldn't
force
have
back
a
ini.
good time. So, Gen.G moving forward.
Great start, you know, for the second half. We're
Yeah.
talking about how it's not yet over just yet. Okay, Monyet finds it.
Itu nyari tripwire susah banget.
Quick trivia, by the way. If you're gonna be a Cypher,
HP PC-nya VCT udah mulai FPS drop nih, buruan guys.
On the floor because it's harder for
PC-nya
the board
VCT
to
mulai
break,
overheat,
but
FPS drop
obviously they
streamnya.
can jump over it. Just a quick FYI. Anyways, going back into this for Paper X. They're coming into market. Munchkin hasn't even cleared this out just yet, and he
Iya,
is
timing.
blinded. Can he even find something with the judge now that Dizzy has offloaded himself on him?
Udah capek dia, udah ngantuk. Sudah ngantuk.
Does force back everything, and then you can see Paper X trying to find a different
Lihat
angle.
tuh,
at this
sudah
point,
ngantuk
coming up
aimnya,
the
guys.
top mid, but Caron denies
Aimnya orang
with that
ngantuk kayak
Spectre.
gitu.
So there's a little chance Forsaken with the judge. I don't know how.
Wih, Lakia flank, Lakia flank.
Lakia coming up from
Bro, lihat kanan, bro.
You wanna watch out for.
One enemy remaining.
There he is. Doesn't want to overreach his lead too. Right? They still know that any player of Paper X with any upgraded weapon is very much scary to deal with.
Ya kedengeran suaranya dikejar.
They can always just
Iya.
do that. Yep. Put him in a spot that is most advantageous here for Gen.G. A solid,
Gen.G
solid
aimnya
second
sakit.
round in that second half.
Ya sakit di match tadi,
Yes.
Breeze
Bring
doang.
back
Habis ini
some
udah
Gen.G
capek, udah
rounds.
ngantuk. Udah mau
Of course,
pulang,
it's
mau
a
tidur.
good bit of damage coming out from Paper X as well. So a
Di
couple of
kasur
these
empuk,
players,
diselimuti
Karen, Munchkin,
emaknya.
not quite being able to afford the bigger guns. That could be a problem as Paper X seeks that match point round. So of course it's a little bit important for them to really play
Comeback.
off of this.
Belum
Either,
sih, baru
make
Byron nih. Kalau
different
Byronnya
or
Gen.G
head
kalah,
back because they are the
sudah.
controllers.
Yeah.
Wah berani
I thought the
bonus
blade
loh mereka.
actually clears more of
Ketinggalan skor gini masih berani main
you know,
bonus
one
mereka.
bonus round. Some players will just play on the back of that board. Thrash activated quickly. Not sure if it heard where the tripwire was, but Monyet
Ya,
is
tidak
very much
kelihatan momennya.
controlling this back angle for now. Devi also
Oh,
leading
temboknya
in
bolongnya
for
sengaja
Raptor,
biar bisa
defending the
nge-pick.
gap. So it's a pretty clean take here from Paper X. They just had to use a bit of utility, but it works solely in their favor.
Oh temboknya
Still
bolongnya
fight
sengaja
across the
guys.
pillars.
Enemy remaining.
As soon as
Nggak
the bus
ace
is
langsung
back,
gara-gara tembok
Did
bolong.
he get his ace? Oh yeah, he can. There it is. He was the sword, he was the shield, he was the healer. Man's
Datang
Devi,
tiba-tiba gak
Swiss
diundang.
Army knife
Nge-ace.
of Paper X. What you need him to be, he will become.
the boulder and the mountain.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
it
udah
was a
dong.
bit of a round against a half buy.
Gen.G rugi
we're
dong.
talking about the tripwires, we're talking about the executes coming through. All of that is actually just straight up negated because of Devi's barrier orb. Put up, Meteor can't really do anything against it. He might have that tiny gap, and even if a trip does go off, it just gets blocked.
Gen.G-nya rugi dong.
That's a big problem because they want to get that punish, right? Monyet is so far
Udah
in
masuk mid cuy,
front of
lihat.
this. That pop flash
Ya,
is
pop flash.
gonna blow up in
Layarnya
space.
full
Lockett
hijau
does
itu.
get the trade. Does
Udah
signal
masuk
the
midnya bagus,
Paper
cuma
X to
ter-expect.
start moving their way quickly into A main. Devi, because of that ace, also now has...
BTW deh kalau ronde ini Gen.G kalah udah GG.
So
Gak ada
they're
duit
looking for
ini.
a trade here where they can either bait their teammate for a res
Duitnya
or
habis
just
sudah kalah.
res them to
Rugi,
go
rugi.
res them. That makes sense. Oh, Lakia finds one. Tripwire. Meteor holding at the corner of this site. Look at how Gen.G has just gotten all control in A main. This leaves PaperX in such a tight
Semuanya
bind.
lewat
They realize
tunnel
this,
dong.
they might be able to push at the back
Iya
of
di
the site,
flank.
but
Iya
at
di
this point,
flank.
Munchkin and Caron
Oke, we are
just
still alive,
grinding
man.
their gears and
Tidak
cleaning up the
jadi.
rest of PaperX trapped
Gen.G
again
kalahnya.
elbow.
Yeah, a bit of that inverse where PaperX wanted to retake from the earlier half. This time, Gen.G just making sure that their feet are planted firmly on A site, gaining control over, you know, the site, over Link, Ali, and then Munchkin.
Temboknya senjata makan tuan kadang, bolongnya sengaja itu.
Stuck in that choke point. So it's a
Time
little bit
out.
awkward, especially when Manya.
Timeout terus, timeout. Santai dulu gak sih katanya. Nungguin dulu, santai dulu. Keburu tidur, gue nungguin timeout dari tadi sumpah. Tiap berapa round timeout, timeout. Mulai gemeter tangan coachnya. Gemeter cuy. Coachnya Gen.G, oh, guys sudah guys, nggak apa-apa kalah juga guys. Masih ada relegation match mereka.
Which, again, works in favor of Gen.G.
Advent on the pistol.
Exactly.
I don't think PaperX does that too often though, unless especially they have the Thrasher and they really want to make that play work.
Fair enough.
What we haven't really seen too much of is a play from
Ngorok
mid. I
gua
think
TO
Manya
mulu.
tried to explore that option earlier.
Yang di
but
TO kenapa gak tuh cuy? Nightbot tuh nge-TO-nya random
So it's
bener.
back to another A. Question is, how do we break through elbow? How do we break through this main push? Lakia is holding such a tight
Lu
angle.
nge-coach
And
gak akan
unfortunately,
TO?
also got
Enggak,
Karen
main aja terus
possibly
sampai
gonna position
beres.
himself
Mau
at an
cepet
elevated
pulang gue.
angle up towards either site or Link.
Guys cepet
Wow, look at
pulang
how
guys,
both
gue
teams
lupa
actually
ngangkat
scramble
jemuran,
for the
hujan
main.
guys
Imagine
gitu.
PaperX
Oh,
just
wait,
push that.
I could see, yeah, a timing push though. If they throw that Dizzy past the bells, might be good. Maybe they're just waiting for that smoke to go off. There it is.
Caron's already out there though. Even if he gets
Kayaknya
like double
dalam
blinded with
pikiran
Paranoid
coachnya
and the
Gen.G,
Dizzy,
tadi gue ninggalin rumah, kompor tadi matiin belum ya?
that's why they actually left it, 'cause Meteor
Jadi gelisah,
has this
jadi dia pengen
hammer
cepet
up,
pulang. Jadi
marking him
udahlah
all the
guys,
way on
cepet
elbow.
kalahin aja guys gitu.
Spots out something, so that means that this could be a straight up push. Where the tripwire is for Meteor here, that's going to be the important part right now, as Caron is going to try to feed off of it. Paranoid
Wingman-nya di
into the corner.
flash.
This is going to be a very tricky time for
Dapat
PaperX, and they're going to have to try to do a lot just to get into that site. Quick little res for Lakia, or rather for Forsaken, but immediately gets refragged by Lakia. Thankfully enough, Monyet was there to punish.
2v3.
Thus settles, and there is a site
Untuk
taken.
V3.
Numbers advantage for PaperX, as well as the
Oh, masih ada
long,
tekstur, tapi
long
tekstur
rotation
dia
here from the
bisa-
rest of the Gen.G players still alive.
Trade's good enough.
Magic,
but Texture
magic.
on the flank.
Okay,
Enemy remaining.
boom.
Gak jadi.
That was quick. I was looking at
They each got
hoping
their one.
that maybe Texture could have gotten something, but you're absolutely right.
Vipernya dicukur rambut tuh.
12 to 5 in PaperX. They only need one more.
We're just reading the game really well. Although, yeah, it does
Joki itu
not
Aram
do all too
viewernya
much against
marah-marah.
Karen. It gives them
Emang.
enough space. And once they had that space, they were able to execute into the site, you know, just making use of the flashes again or going past it, having the players to really come in and trade out for each other. That's
Yang
PaperX
ngejokinya
style.
bodoh,
Every single
yang
one of them
dijokinya
feel
lebih bodoh
and
lagi.
also, Monyet
Bisnis
having a good
joki
time, the
Valor
young
tuh
gun on the
bisnis
stage.
terbodoh yang pernah gue denger. Ada yang beli lagi. Berarti kebodohan manusia nggak ada
Sorry, I
limitnya
was
guys.
letting you finish off what you were saying, because it seems like Gen.G was trying to just get that heavy contact on B main, hoping that PaperX was huddled up. Not gonna happen this time. PaperX immediately
Ya, udah
activated
GG
that
gitu.
null command.
Langsung deh, wah
And
GG,
this
GG,
is
udahlah.
kills, stacks
Keras,
into
keras
direction of
soalnya.
kills. Wins rather for PaperX in this series. Meteor gonna have
Nggak
to
bisa
run
nyala
away
Cybercatch-nya dia
for clear
pencetin.
line. Thrash activated once
Kena
again here by
surprise tuh nggak bisa
something.
nyala.
Devi holding mid
Wih.
control. Lakia wins that out. So at least they have to deal with the possible flank. But control of the site and timer started to tick down here for PaperX as that spike has been planted down. Okay, Paranoia is activated. This is good. They're using this to bounce Texture off with the Showstopper. Flash out for Forsaken. Oh my god, how did they actually get these punishes? But still, Caron
Gen.G
lights
bisa
up the
cuy.
entire house. 2 versus 1. Monyet coming into the corner right now. And it's all up to him. Can he get
Bro,
it?
covernya di depan, bro.
Very low in HP, but Lakia locks it in. 12-6.
Cover
and
orang Davis di
Gen.G
depan nih, orang
hold on.
Davis sini, lu cover di sini cuy, di depannya, jangan di belakangnya. Dia mati lu kagak bisa ngapa-ngapain.
Caron and just Mind Freak having to do extra work. A little bit more difficult. Gen.G stays in the game. I mean, the way the entire site hit breaks out, Gen.G just
5
couldn't
HP.
quite hold off, and like you mentioned,
Padahal tadi udah salah cover Davisnya di belakangnya loh.
Showstopper, you know, not quite being able to do what they wanted because PaperX knows exactly how to respond to it.
We'll say though, because of the threats of both that Paranoia and Showstopper, granted they didn't get any kills, feels like that was the opening that Caron needed
Iko dulu gak
to
sih?
get those frags rolling for him. They called immediate down on this wall though. Texture's playing very close into this. This could be an opening for both of the teams.
Wow,
There is.
pecah kepalanya cuy, cukur rambut asli Bogor.
Doesn't miss. They can up this wall once again. Munchkin has to get close. He needs, or he wants to just stop them from picking up anything right now. He's preparing his...
Ente tujuan lempar senjata apa? Kepencet.
Doesn't negate
Udah
the
ngantuk.
wingman, though.
Spike planted.
Definitely does not, but has a whole lot of commitments of walls to just
Wih,
get
Lakia
the
flank.
wingman in. And if Lakia
Yeah.
can get this first frag, which he does, that's a lot of access points for both him as well as Caron coming in through B main.
Comes down to gunplay.
Oh, PaperX realizes though, so they have to force fight this. Can't Forsaken hold on, let his teammate at least fight for him.
Enemy remaining.
Cannot. And as the dust settles, it's Monyet 3 versus 1. And he's not even planted for him. He's trying to get closer and closer, but that spike is just diffusing in front of his eyes and he can't do nothing for it.
Good stutter step from Lakia. It's a nice idea from PaperX. You know, we've seen this execute
Nah, baru Byron
the
nih.
barrier orb, the gecko coming through.
Byronnya agak pas-pasan tapi mereka ability nggak full.
Towards the end, like you mentioned before, Asteroid.
Sing penting yakin
Comes down to
nih.
gunplay towards the end of it. All that utility has already been spent, and as Lakia gets the frag from behind, it opens things up so much.
Ini Davai gak pakai armor cuy. Gak beli armor tapi beli tembok.
Can't really fight back because of that.
Temboknya adalah
And of
armor
course, the
dia.
guns that they had, you know.
Yeah, fair enough, you know. Better firepower here for Gen.G to make do with. One-way smoke always planted there on A main, but without the dog, PaperX a lot more confident to actually push through this. But here's the thing. That Sky has not given away his position. So if he can play close enough, a guy like could actually be a punishing play here,
Wih,
but the bait and
Lakia
switch from
blunder.
PaperX, they immediately knew what was up. Meteor though, yeah, mentioned it. Quick to go for the trade, but Monyet, unstoppable at this point, just keeps going in, and it's trade
Masih
for
ngeliat
trade, but
bawah itu.
PaperX, as these dust settles, as these fights come to a conclusion, is looking to get a little
GG
bit of
cuy.
advantage, and that
Lakianya
is just enough
blunder,
for them to work
sisanya
with.
ke
Texture
bawah
looking at the
blunder
corner
gitu.
right now, finds one. Everybody backs away onto elbow here.
Oh,
They got
Munchkin
the
wants a
utility,
gun.
they got everything. Munchkin, it's gonna be big for him. He needs to find something right now with this flank.
wants a gun.
Because
Ada
Texture is about to get
robot ledak ke
sandwiched
situ.
in. He's found himself that Phantom as you were talking about.
GG.
Something's just too quick. He's just too good and he's just too fast, and that's going to be that for this series. PaperX claim it.
Nice little setup.
Gak kaget sih emang PRX.
Gen.G, but of course PaperX dismantles it. with
Wajib menang sih
gunplay and
PRX.
just
Kalau
moving up
PRX sampai
front
nggak
bit by
menang
bit.
itu
I mean, throughout this
patut
entire
dipertanyakan
map,
ya.
it's
Apakah
so
diselipin
much-
amplop coklat
it's
di
such an
belakangnya.
interesting composition. Gen.G
Terus sampai digongongin anjing tuh. Anjingnya nonton juga guys, jadi langsung heboh. Ya udah lah ya guys. Sekian dulu stream kali ini. Gue nontonnya PRX doang, sisanya kurang seru dijamin. Nanti yang G lawan Bleed, paling Bleed menang. Terus satu lagi T1 menang udah. Kayak matchnya tuh tidak perlu ditonton, kita sudah tahu siapa yang menang gitu. Jadi kurang seru. Ya udah guys. Sekian dulu watch party kali ini. Thank you udah nonton semuanya. Mungkin nantilah gue bikin video analisis, nyoba tipis-tipis lah ya. Nanti habis VCT-nya beres, tapi kalau VCT-nya masih jalan gue watch party dulu. Disuruh Riot-nya. Ya udah, thank you udah nonton semuanya. Semoga sehat selalu, banyak rezeki, dimudahkan pekerjaannya. Semoga kalau kalian streaming webcamnya bagus, gak mati-mati sendiri ya. Jangan beli webcam merek Sony, jelek beneran, suka mati sendiri. Ya udah, see you guys, bye bye.